What's up and what's going on, good people? We in the building. We are live and in effect. And yeah. The start time is getting later and later. The start time is getting later and later. But eventually, eventually, I'm going to start at a consistent time. Just wait on it. Just wait on it. But shout out to everybody in the building. I see the early people making it right on in. Peace, salute, and shout out to each and every one of you. Shout out to each and every one of you. About to get this thing started. Let's get ready to go. Let's get it.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mumia Obsidian Ali. You know who I am. I need no introduction, right? And you're listening to the Grown Man Hour with my man Bernard Riley, heard weekdays right here on YouTube. What do you think about that? How about that? Now let's get back on with the show. Thank you.
What's up, salute, and what's going on, good people? Glad that we could be here today. Glad that we could be all gathered here today. No, but shout out to everybody in the building. Appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming on in. Make sure you hit the like button, whether you're catching it live or you're catching it after it's uploaded. Hit the like button. Y'all know what that do to the algorithm, the algorithm. That's a line from Space Jam. The only thing good about that movie is they used the term algorithm. It was a character in the movie who was like the algorithm. And name was Al G, last name Rhythm. Al G Rhythm. It was pretty cool. Only thing good about that movie. But anyway, what's up, everybody? I'm happy to have you out here. Glad we could. Oh shit, that ain't supposed to be up there yet. I'm not supposed to have that on the screen yet. I'm messing up big time. I got all my little stuff that I be doing and having stuff pop up on the screen. And sometimes I'm clicking stuff that shouldn't be clicked. There's all kinds of stuff ready to go. What is this? This was something I saw on somebody, I think Mr. 1950's Instagram page. That's 1999 Calvin Klein. They have a normal bodied person featured on the cover. In 2019 they got into some body positivity stuff, and that sort of segues into what we're going to be talking about today with Lori Harvey in the whole works, with her talking about she's losing weight for a man other women would die to be with, but they're criticizing her for talking about she losing weight for a man who they would cut off their left hand to be with. It's like that's the hypocrisy the hypocrisy of the sisterhood, But either way it go, you can see 2019, they got a Lizzo built broad, look like on the cover or featured in the magazine. Damn, that's small. I can't see it. What did I say? I speak my truth. Hold on, let me blow that up. Okay, I speak my truth in hashtag my Calvins. So that's I speak my truth in my Calvins. That's what that says. That's what they own. That's what Calvin Klein was on in 2019. But now apparently we are taking it to the next level. Taking it to the next level because either they got a man who's either he one of them skinny fat dudes. I know them skinny fat dudes out. It's like they skinny but they still fat. Either that, either he's one of those guys who all their weight gain goes to the belly, or they are advertising and promoting a pregnant man. One or the other. One or the other. Either he's like the king of being skinny, the Mac the trucker. We're better than that, okay? We didn't fight in March to use. We fought and we marched for black emojis, okay? Get that Simpsons colored emoji out of here. We use black, brown skinned emojis over here. The only time we pull out those, like if Ike is here, you can use those ones. If the emoji is supposed to represent Ike. But we marched for the black emojis. God damn it, we're gonna use them around here. Don't be breaking out that Ben Simmons emoji. Get all that. God damn it, that ain't we. That's what we marched for. Get that Simpsons character out of here. I mean, get it right. Is you don't have no damn community. How you march to do anything? God damn it, we march. What you talking about? The march game is real. And what do we get? Multicolored emojis. So god damn it, we're going to use them. But in 2022, they get Millhouse out of here, right? 2022, that is a pregnant man in Calvin Klein. That just popped up on my timeline again. That ain't this. I try not to even get too passionate about those ones. Shout out to Hood Conservative. You know, he covers that. Me and him cover stuff like that when we do the Saturday show, which we will be bringing back. My weekends have been all thrown off lately. And my internet got thrown off. I had some real bad plantation wireless going on, but the technician came out, fixed everything. Now I'm back up and running. Faye 187 Proof says he didn't say nothing. He just dropped the super chat, got the super sticker in the game, bright and early. Shout out to you. Appreciate you coming through and showing some support. Shout out to my man E Capone in the building, dropping putting the customary 5 on it. Shout out to you. He says, don't start me talking. Ronaldo, you got this. Is that OGJ Speed on a different channel? I knew some jokes was coming with this shirt. Every time I wear this red shirt, I ain't wore this red shirt on the air in a long time. I got clowned last time I wore it because I had the black blazer on over it. And they they were saying I looked like valet. So I just quit wearing it. But I broke it back out. And I buttoned it all the way up to the neck just to mess with y'all. Just so y'all could bring some jokes. Me buttoning it up to the neck is not an accident. I was like, I'm about to put this bright ass red shirt on and I'm gonna button it up to the neck. just to see what y'all say. And y'all didn't let me down. It would be Indigenous TV too. Shout out to Indigenous. definitely kept the party rolling that one stream. No, I ain't about to bring that up because I ain't trying to go back into that one. But shout out to Indigenous. Yeah. Indigenous full of it, man. Indigenous full of it. But shout out to him. He do bring the jokes, see Bernard, aka Bernard Blood. I'm over here. I was about to say over here crippin'. That let you know how lame and square I am. I'm dressed in red. I'm gonna say it I was crippin'. Let you know how lame and square I am. Getting my gangs wrong. However, let's get into this. Lori Harvey came under attack by the sisterhood. Came under attack by the sisterhood because she did something that we talk about in this space. Like, look, she she should be trying to lose weight for her man. She should be trying to lose weight for her man. She went on some serious extreme diet, some 1,200 calorie diet. She said she gained like 15 pounds of baby weight, not baby weight, relationship weight. Said she gained 15 pounds of relationship weight. You can't be doing that. Can't be doing that. So she, tried to lose weight for her man. Here's the deal with that. Here's the deal with that. Them arguing her Vernon Scott in the building. Vernon Scott in the building. What's going on? See you down there. See you down there. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Here's the deal with that. Well, before I get into it, before I dive deep into it, just to make sure backstory and context is properly met. Not gonna play all of O'Shea's video, but he put the necessary clip right where it needed to be. So y'all could see the thing that she did that set the sisterhood on fire. You see that, so y'all could see and hear the thing that she did that was very benign, in my opinion, that set the sisterhood on fire. Then we're about to get into that. Let's go.
My Pilates class, and I see the girls are signing up for Pilates now. Love that for you guys. But everybody's been asking like what it is I specifically did to get my body to this point. So when Mike and I got together, I gained like 15 pounds of relationship weight, and it was horrible. None of my clothes fit. It was just not okay. So I've been consistently doing Pilates for like the last year. I've done it for a few years, but I've been really consistent the last year.
Now, I said it before, I said it again. If your woman really value you, she gonna be on some, she gonna do anything to appease you. Me and my woman got together. She lost weight, I gained weight. I'm losing it back now. I'm finally losing it back. But it was health. It's tied to health reasons, It's tied to a number of things. Kevin Samuels, dying of a heart attack, that woke me up. David Carroll dying due to health issues woke me up. MTR, had a cancer scare. It's like just people in this little network of, YouTubians, dropping like flies, it seems. Like, I mean, it's like, hey, those things were definitely scares for me that made me say, I got to get this together. That made me say, I got to get this together. So that's what the hell I did. That's what the hell I did. And I'm seeing all the differences already just in this short amount of time. I've lost a lot of weight. Like you can see it in my face. My face done got skinnier. You don't even know what you look like until you get down to the size you're supposed to be. Because when you got all that fat on your face, or your facial, your bone structure is not visible. It's just meat and fatty tissue around what's supposed to be your bone structure. Like you look like a completely different person when you get down to the size you're supposed to be. And it's like, so women walking around they don't even know what they look like with what is it, 80% of them overweight, like 56, 57, damn near 60% obese. They don't even know what the hell they facial structure look like. Like it make all the difference in the world. Brenda, who be on my channel on the Friday show, she said that she lost, I think 100 pounds. She said her whole bone structure came in. She looked like a completely different person. Hey, she got to show before and after pictures. Now that I think about that, she got to show before and after pictures. Shout out to Vernon Scott. You said you lost 45 pounds in a couple years back. Yeah, got to do that. Got to drop them pounds. Got to lose that weight. Got to get your health together. But we ain't talking about health right now. When we talking about men losing weight, we talking about our health and living long, happy lives. We talking about women losing weight. We talking about that waist being small for the back shots. But either way it goes, like damn they health. I mean, but we need them looking good for we need we need them dieting and exercising for different reasons. But anyway, but for us, we talking about health and longevity. But Uncle Stu in the building, Uncle Stu, the old man on the block, says salute, salute, salute to the nerd look Bernard. LOL. He says represented right, supporting the stream. Absolutely, man. Thanks. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Nerdine in the building says, "Hey Bernard, just checking in to see how you're doing. I'm putting 5 on it. And can you put I got 5? I think can I play I got 5 on it? Absolutely, absolutely. I got 5 on it. Try growing your own food. That's next level. We ain't ready for that. But the same diet that she about to describe is really the same stuff that I'm on right now. Real talk. It's the same thing that I'm on. Meat and vegetables, mostly chicken. Mostly chicken because chicken is light. I don't really like fish, but I'll eat some fish, but mostly chicken and vegetables. I will put like some light sauce on it because I gotta have my sauce. Gotta have put some teriyaki sauce on there. Shout out to the Mac Truck with the $5 cash app. One thing I don't compromise. I compromise a lot of stuff. I've given up soda. Drink a lot of water. Give up that damn soda. We call it pop in Michigan, but soda. Good on you, Indigenous TV. You said you don't drink soda. Yeah, I limit the amount of beef. No doubt about that. I limit the amount of beef. Chicken, vegetables. Drink a lot of water. Have like 1, maybe 2 cups of coffee. 2 cups of coffee in the morning. Drink water the rest of the day. That's just real simple. Real simple. Been just dropping weight, getting in shape, feeling great. But anyway, let's get back to talking about women losing weight, and then women hating on them for talking about they losing weight. Women hating on them for them talking about losing weight. Let's dig back into that. But this is a clip that made the sisterhood come for her.
And last year, I've done it for a few years, but I've been really consistent last year. And when I was trying to drop weight, I was working out like 5-6 times a week. And I would even do like for the first month and a half, I think I did 2-a-days. So what I would do was I was in a calorie deficit. I think I maybe was consuming like 1,200 calories in a day max. And I wasn't on like a specific eating regimen. I just was trying to do like meat and veggies and like minimal carbs. And then I had this sprint interval circuit that I would do. So I would do Pilates in the morning, and then I would leave there and I would sometimes directly go to the gym and hop on the treadmill for 30 minutes. And it's a specific sprint interval workout I did. So if you guys want that, I'll give it to you later. So then I would do that. Or I also like to do like a hike, or I would go run the stairs, just some type of cardio. That's how you drop, because Pilates alone is not going to make you lose weight. It's just going to give you long, lean muscles. So yeah, that's how I did it.
So what we can kind of
So right on right there. That was all she did. Shout out to Pablo in the building. Hey Pablo, y'all got some damn good promotion last night. I know you saw that. Dennis Sperlin did a SYSBM stream. It was a heavy SYSBM stream and Passport Bro stream. You got some of the best promotion for your movement right there. Like basically Dennis Sperlin got Kevin Samuels' audience all over there, and he said, the hell with all these black women coming in here. We doing SYSBM today. I was watching the chat. I was like, oh, I mean, I respect the rock whatever Dennis Sperlin doing over there, but I'm like, don't mess around and lose your audience that you just got. I was like, be careful. Be careful. They come in there to just hear some. All right. But it was, but no, he definitely. I mean, hey, he did the thing over there. I was watching some of it. I was watching some of it. He says, "I don't recruit from Alabama," but yeah, that was funny. That was funny. She says, "Like I said, they asked and she answered. So why is anybody mad? They're mad because she's promoting the idea and the notion that yeah, I shouldn't be fat. Yeah, I shouldn't be fat." She's promoting she's indirectly promoting a Kevin Samuels type message that yes, you need to be dieting and exercising and be down to a certain weight if you're trying to get the type of man that you say you want. Because certain type of men, certain things that certain type of men they ain't not messing with. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. But right in the midst of the whole, love me for me type of movement, body positivity movement, the whole body positivity movement. The funny contrast and reason I got Steve Harvey in the thumbnail. She says, yes, green tea is a must. I think when I say this, probably only like 5, maybe 10%, maybe just 5% of people agree with me. I can't drink tea. I got to drink coffee. Tea has like a weird, bitter, earwax aftertaste. I can't explain it. That's the best way I can explain it. Only like 5% of people, when I say this, agree with me. Tea is nasty as hell. It tastes like it just got like a bitter earwax aftertaste. I never had drunk some tea that I actually liked. But anyway, he said, Leo Anthony said body positivity is toxic. This is an interesting dynamic here. And that's part of the reason why Steve Harvey is in the thumbnail. I remember Steve Harvey had a woman on his show, and she had asked, a little question. She had asked a question about, her weight, and then it was a man who she was dating who, she was just starting to date, and I guess he met her in person because them online pictures are weird. So he saw what she looked like in person. I guess she was bigger than the pictures. And then the woman said something along the lines of, here I am, I'm post divorce, and I'm she was like close to 40, probably over 40, I forgot. And she was like, and yes, I'm overweight, I've had 3 children and blah 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 blah, even though her kids probably was damn near grown, but I've had 3 children and so forth and so on. She went into her whole little spiel. And instead of Steve Harvey saying, okay, well, I mean, you out on the dating scene, if you want to increase your options, probably should lose some weight. You might find that guy who like you, who will love you for you. You might find that guy. There's always where is it? Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Did I get rid of it? Damn it. No, I didn't. There's always that. But somebody like Gabrielle Sidibe, who's very, big and visible. I mean, by big, I meant like she's a star, like not she's big. I mean, she is, but that's not what I meant. I meant like somebody who's, big time and visible and everybody can see her. I am not trying to crack a joke right here. Somebody like her who's in the public eye. Okay. Somebody like her who's in the public eye. Anybody who has a fetish for that, she's visible and easy to find. But some, regular degular chick minding her own business, work at the library and fat as hell, like it's, and somebody who got the specific fetish for it is not going to stumble across her or see her or find her. Like if less than if 0.05% of guys have a fetish for that, she's going to find somebody. She's going to find somebody, or somebody's going to find her because she's visible. So there is a percentage chance that this woman that Steve Harvey was talking to might stumble into a guy who has a thing for that. She might, but in general, if that woman want to increase her chances out there, she would need to lose weight because most guys ain't messing with the previous image that was just up there. That's just gone. I can't get over the arm, man. The arm is the only thing that made me do any content at all on that. It was the arm. It wasn't. I didn't care about the marrying a white dude thing. That's not a big deal. That's something that we should not care about. Shouldn't give a damn about. But that arm, though, that arm, that arm, I just could not turn away from that. Is the bride arm to groom's torso ratio shouldn't be like 50, shouldn't be even. It just I couldn't shake it. I just couldn't shake that image. I just couldn't do it. It was bothering me. It was really bothering me. But anyway, Steve Harvey told this woman, man, cut it out. That much respect to Brad for his charity work. He taking one for the team. And cut it out. It was a certain individual, I'm not going to bring it up, but who got married in this certain female who got no disrespect to her, but I used to jokingly say that her husband needs to is a true patriot. He's taking one for the team. He's taking a bullet for all of us for taking this woman off the market. We need to send his family a photo of the American flag, give him the Purple Heart. That's that's how I be feeling with some people. But anyway, but what Steve Harvey told this woman, instead of telling her the truth, he told her some junk that went somewhere along the lines of something like, well, you need to tell him that that something along the lines of that, yeah, you're a bigger woman and only a certain type of man can handle you, and because you big and that's what it's going to be, and then look him up and down and be like, and you look little or something like that. He basically just gave her some little snarky stuff to say, but I'm sitting there like, I'm looking at the contrast and the BS that's going on Steve Harvey's pandering in, but look at what his daughter is doing. His daughter is on some pick-me's type stuff. She said, I got the highest quality, highest of value of man that I'm going to get commitment from. And maybe she can get commitment from another celebrity dude, but whatever. Once you, is what it is. Michael B. Jordan. That's obviously the catch of catches. Aaron Yeager would punch him. What are you bringing Aaron Yeager into this for? I can't wait for that next Attack on Titan to drop, though. I can't wait for them to wrap it up and conclude it. Can't wait for them to wrap it up and conclude it. I don't even be watching anime, but yeah. I did dig in. I got into Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan go hard. I did get into that. Attack on Titan is that deal. But see, here's the deal. Here's the deal. This is a point that I'm trying to make here. She's on her pick me stuff. She's on some stuff where even me moving just 15 pounds, and no doubt she looked good at 15 pounds, but she's on some stuff where, no, I'm going to go all out. I'm going to do everything I can to appease this man. I want to do everything I can to appease this man. This woman, she has one of the highest quality men walking the earth, right? And she's simply saying that, yes, I'm losing weight. I gained 15 pounds of weight. She no doubt looked good still with that 15 pounds. She walked in front of me, I wouldn't even notice them extra 15 pounds. I might even like it. But in fact, I'm pretty damn sure that I would probably like the extra 15 pounds, depending on where it landed. But either way it go, I'm sitting here looking at the women who criticizing her. The women who are criticizing her. She is with the type of man who, like when Creed came out, Michael B. Jordan, when he got all ripped up for Creed and a couple other roles, he probably got ripped up for, but he definitely got ripped up for Creed. And, he became, I think he was, GQ magazine. They called him sexiest man alive, blah, 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 blah. They did a whole little thing like that with him. He to the point, it's women, it's women, it's women, pulling out the women masturbating, looking at him on the screen of their phone. Like if you would masturbate on the screen of your phone, if you would masturbate on the screen of your phone looking at a man, obviously, if you got in that man presence, that man got you in his presence, you'll do anything for him. You'll do anything he tells you to. He have you doing all kinds of obscene things, and you'll do it and you will like it. But the woman who's with him is simply doing something as simple as making sure that her weight is okay, making sure that she's not bigger than than what she was when she got with him. Her doing something as simple as that got her. I mean, how on earth do that got them on some criticizing her, knowing they'd do anything for this dude, knowing they would do anything for this dude. But the fact that she's there and she's publicly saying that, she's publicly putting out there, she's basically publicly putting out a standard, like this is what it takes. She's basically telling the female world, this is what it takes. And they like, no. Keep that bar low. We must keep that bar low. Like that is the equivalent of a man who's just talking about increasing his value. I ain't even talking about high value and all that. I'm just saying he's just talking about increasing his value, picking up skills, making more money, being more successful. And then dude saying, no, man, why don't be doing all of that? Don't be making yourself, more like damn. Like it's like they just bluntly putting it out there and explaining that no, we are going to put out a crappy product. That is what it is. Justin Harris in the building with a $10 super chat says you should do a review of Attack on Titan. No, I won't. When I talk about stuff like that, it normally happens at like the back end. Like when I get deep off into like the third hour of the show, and if it come up organically, we might talk about it. And D-Rock Dan, thanks again for that cash app. I just saw that again right there. It'll get talked about. It'll get talked about organically, you see. But doing a whole show on that ain't really my jam. I did geek out for The Matrix. When The Matrix came out, I did geek out for that one because I had to. Because I rocks with The Matrix, top 5 all time. So when the new Matrix movie came out, I definitely did had to dork out for that one and do a review on that. And I did a post. I did a what to expect, and then I did a post show on that. So I had to get it in for The Matrix. There's certain things I will just say, forget my normal content and just geek out about it. But yeah. But Leo Anthony in the building. Thank you for that super chat. I appreciate that. And thank you for thank you, Justin March. Not Justin March, Justin Harris. Justin Harris. A lot of people don't know. This is the man who actually made my logo. This is the man who made my logo that I can't pull up right now, but y'all know my logo. I still technically put it in every thumbnail. Y'all know my logo. Y'all shall the logo. Boom, there goes my logo. See, right there, boom. See, that's the man that made my logo. That man right there. Shout out to him. Shout out to Justin Harris. Appreciate the super chat. Definitely appreciate the super chat. Leo Anthony in the building. He says this should be a shining example of how you have to look and maintain yourself as a woman if you want a high value man. It would shatter a lot of women's delusion. That is why they don't like it. That is why you don't like it. That is why they don't like it. That is why they do not like it. He says, you say things like some, you mischaracterize the argument. It's not some, it's most. I wasn't really thinking about it like that. Some and most was coming out of my mouth interchangeably. So I wasn't overthinking rather not. I wasn't trying to pin down a percentage. It wasn't a deliberate wasn't a deliberate trying to soft shoe it. It's just some, most, a lot, more than what we should be comfortable with. It wasn't in there. So that was not deliberate, not deliberate. The Matrix was booty. I totally agree. Totally agree 100%. Totally agree 100%. Wasn't feeling it. It was some good ideas and good concepts in there, but the execution was trash. The execution was trash in that movie. So I could not rock with that. Could not rock with that. Could not get jiggy with it. They did so many things that was annoying as hell in that movie. So many things that was annoying as hell. Where on earth? I'm looking for something. Give me a hot second. Give me a hot second. Move that. Change that. Put that there. Now here I am moving my camera again. There we go. Moving my camera again. Build it while you fly it. Build it while you fly it. Why are you talking about? Okay, says, well, let's be clear. The problem is not with some black women trying to gain weight. Most black women are trying to get big. I wasn't even talking about whether or not they're trying to gain weight or trying to get big. I was talking about them publicly pushing back against a woman who said that she lost weight. That's what I'm on. Rather or not, the percentage of them that are trying to gain weight. I mean, and that's ubiquitous all throughout Black America. Even with the ones who are a nice, right size with a decent shape, a lot of them. And see, I just said a lot of them naturally and wasn't even thinking. Rather, I'm talking a lot, most, some. I just threw it out. Oh, okay, cool. Got it. Thanks, Indigenous. Because I thought he was responding to me. Thank you. All right, I'll move on. He said, yeah, you have women supporting other women getting BBLs. Interesting. Yeah. Yes. It's weirdness. Put it like this. A woman go get a BBL, that's okay. They don't got a problem with that. A woman say, oh, I went and got a BBL for my man. Then they got a problem with it. You see the difference there? You see that fundamental difference? Getting a BBL, risking your life, risking potentially dying to let somebody cut open your body and do some weird stuff to it, just purely for aesthetics. Doing that is okay. If you're doing it for your own benefit, for your own thotting it up, for your own hot girl summering. Doing it for that is okay. They good with that. They support that. That's body positivity they could believe in. But a woman say, hey, I got the highest quality man I'm gonna get, and I'm about to do whatever I can to keep him happy. That's a problem. They got a problem with that. Like, we can just see it just plain as day, just baked into the cake. Just baked into the cake that they act in a way, or they publicly put it out there in a way. Now, I would argue that the way they act in real time, in real life, especially with certain men, is a different thing. But they put it out there publicly that women are to be anti-men. It's like they try to culture that. They try to just infuse that into the culture that we are to be anti-men. I'm not going to lie. Like when I was, at my fittest, I'm damn near. I'm about to mess around and get back there. I told you I've been losing weight and everything, getting back in shape. But when I was at my fittest, it was, post marriage. I was single, and I was working out every day. I was getting in shape, and I'm not going to lie. I can look right in the camera and say I was doing it for pussy. All right, I said it. It was because I was out chasing women, and I wanted to look as good as I possibly could. That's why I did it. They got to tell the lie that they're doing it for themselves. They got to tell that lie that they was doing it for themselves. But if they doing it just so they can look good while single, nobody says anything. If they do it so they can look good while in their relationship, somebody says something. They got a problem with it. I told y'all how I said my woman, she lost weight while we was together. And I'm not about to get too deep into it because, that's what people be listening to my show and stuff. I ain't trying to personally call nobody out, but she do got some friends like, well, girl, you don't need to be losing no weight for him and doing it. Yeah, some of them trying to whisper in her ear, and she ignored the hell out that shit. She got on the grind. But either way it go, a man while single and out on the prowl chasing is going to do everything he can to physically increase his value. The woman in that relationship wanted to keep that man who had fun out on the prowl. She want to keep his attention. She's going to do whatever she got to do. If she's thinking right, she's going to do whatever she got to do to try to increase her value in their relationship, to keep that man focused. That's what she's going to do. That's how she's going to work the game. It's like we work the game from different angles. I always say that when I always I get into the science, get all sciencey on y'all. Dating and mating success, or I should say mating success for a male. I'm not even talking about humans. Mating is success for a male is to spread his seed far and wide. Spread his seed far and wide for to reproduce, replicate his DNA with as many females as possible. You take a male of a species, you put 50 females of the species in front of him. He wants to plant his seed in all of them. You take a female of species, you put 50 males in front of her. She want to have the seed planted by the best one. By the best one. That's why there's a natural component to hypergamy. There's a natural component to hypergamy. She wants the best one. Her goal is to get the best possible mate. The man's goal is to get the most possible mates. That's biology. That's at the animal level. That's nature. That's nature. So it makes sense that a single man, a single male, a single, male member of the human species is probably going to be doing more when he's out on the prowl. When he's out on the prowl, it makes sense that she should be doing more when she's in a relationship. She should be doing more when she's in a relationship, because they got different goals, different men and women. They got different goals and different hardwiring. So you see how that ends up working out. You see how that ends up working out. They try to do a lot to flip that. They try to do a lot to fight against nature, to try to re-hardwire women to operate and think in a different way. They do a lot. They do a lot to do that. They try to get them to fight against their culture and programming. And listen, a lot of the shit, I ain't go front. A lot of it works to some degree. A lot of it works to some degree because a lot of men go against their natural programming. Men go against their natural programming a lot of the time. Like social programming is strong. Social programming is strong. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. Hit the like button. Pulling up another. I thought that said Jared Bigotry. He says, great explanation. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Sweet Melody Media. Shout out to everybody in the building. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. Let's get into this video here. Speaking of the implications of dating arrangements and blah, 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 blah with human beings. Here's some funny stuff. Here's some funny stuff that just well, it's not that funny, but it proves my point that I just made, and I wasn't even trying to segue into this like that. This is, I would say, facially an average at best woman. I'd say facially an average at best woman. I'm being generous, but the poundage makes her, comfortably below average. Okay, that's a thing. So she's comfortably below average, but she's about to say something that's staggering. Nigerian Flex in the building says, would love for you to do a show on this Fresh and Fit song that's going viral. It really emphasizes what you're talking about right now regarding social programming. A Fresh and Fit song going viral. You need to send it to me. You need to send it to me. I am hella interested. I am hella interested in that.
Turn to online dating this week. I go off online dating a lot because I hate online dating. It's horrible. But I matched the other night with 7 people on Bumble, which is that's a lot of people to match with in just a 10-minute swipe session.
Let's keep this in mind. All right, take a good long look at this woman. Take a good long look at this woman. She could go on Bumble and match with 7 people in 10 minutes. And I'm pretty sure she wasn't just indiscriminately swiping. As somebody who, I'll even pull up, I might be able to show you a picture. This is wait, hold on, not there. Wait a minute. This is back when I was on dating apps. All right. This was back when I was on dating apps. This was me in 2017. Not right there. Hold on. That was me in 2017. That's kind of small. Y'all can't really see it, but you could just tell I was thinner, I was slimmer, and my jawline game was like when you mess around and lose that weight. I told y'all your facial bone structure, your jawline, all that. I was a jawline nigga back then. Shout out to Game Changer who coined the phrase jawline nigga. I was 2017. I was single. I was out there, and when I got on a dating app, just like look at me right there. Look at me right there. Look at her right there. It's in a world that makes sense. You'd think me would be getting way. Oh yes, I was rocking black turtlenecks. Oh yeah, black turtlenecks all day. They accentuate the shoulders. I'm just playing. I mean, that's true, but I'm just playing. But but no, you think a dude on a dating app would not just bragging on how I look, but just look at her, look at me. A woman who looks like, I mean, come on, if you had to rate her, I mean, a generous 3. I mean, a 3. Okay. She could still go on there and get 7 instant matches, and not even be swiping, be swiping, be selective about who she swiped, but everything she matched with. I've seen chicks do that. Okay. It's women that I met on Tinder. They still had their Tinder thing open, and I sat there and watched them swipe. I've sat there. I used to ask chicks all the time, when you go on those dating apps, every time you swipe, what's the percentage rate that the other person you swiped on has already swiped back on you? And they would all embarrassingly say it's damn near a 100% chance that they've swiped on me. Like that's the options they got on there. Meanwhile, me back when I was that was one of the pictures that I used. You probably should use better. Well, anyway, that was one of the pictures that I used, and I swear I could go on there and I could just go swipe crazy. I can go in there and go swipe crazy. Just don't even look. Just indiscriminately swipe on everybody. Just as a science experiment. But also, that's how a lot of guys operate on dating apps anyway. I could go in there and do that. Just swipe until you can't swipe no more. Just swipe 100 people. You know, you might get a couple matches a day. So a guy with obviously much higher mate value. Just looking at the aesthetics of pictures. This ain't got nothing to do with personality. Just looking at the aesthetics of pictures. It is clearly lopsided as hell. Clearly lopsided as hell, the amount of options they got on dating apps versus the options that men got on dating apps. That's why I would even say, I in no way would never say just don't go on a dating app. I would never just say don't do it. But what I would say is you're going to be hard up if that's your only funnel. If that's your only funnel, you gonna be kind of, that shouldn't be only funnel. That shouldn't be only funnel. And I keep in mind, I did okay on there, but I'm just saying what she could do with this below average at best chick could do in 10 minutes. It took me, in some cases a whole damn day. A whole damn day of swiping till I can't swipe no more, and then it might be 5 matches at the end of the day. Like that's the difference in scale and dynamic from men on dating apps to women on dating apps. That they flooded with options on the dating apps. So you should mess with them. You should increase your territory in any way that you can. You should increase your funnel in any way that you can. But it's chicks be flaky as hell on them apps too. But I mean, I did well on them. I did well on them. But I'm just saying, it's a difference. But anyway, here we go.
And I crafted a message. I returned to online dating this week. I go off online dating a lot because I hate online dating. It's horrible. But I matched the other night with 7 people on Bumble, which is that's a lot of people to match with in just a 10-minute swipe session. And I crafted a funny message based off every single one of these people's bios. And only one of them messaged me back. How do people date? Why am I dating still? I have a dog. Do I need much more?
Now, what do you think? What do y'all think was the probability there that that she probably swiped on? I mean, well, okay, 2 things. Let me back up and say this. What she described right there is very normal when guys go on dating apps. If an event they do get 7 matches, if 1 or 2 of them, give back good conversation, those are actual decent numbers. It's like she's performing on an app like an above average guy, and she's losing her shit about it. But that's just what she's describing is relatively normal for guys on dating apps. That's the normal thing for guys on dating apps. They go on there, they drop their messages, and women ignore the messages. Like that is normal par for the cause. But what I would argue is that it is a high percentage chance, very high percentage chance, that she's probably, unlike guys swiping like crazy until their fingers bleed, she's probably selective of who she's swiping on. She's probably selective of who she's swiping on. So she's probably swiping on guys out of her league, because guys, like I always say, they will date down. They will not date down. They will fuck down. They will go down 2 points when it comes to just getting at it. They will definitely go down 2 points. They will fuck below their wherever their rating is at. They will go below it. So she's getting ignored by guys who are probably 2 points up on the scale above her. and she's tripping and making a big stink about that.
No.
Avoid me if no be marriage. Okay? I'm tired of dating. Enough of all this baby come over, baby come over.
I don't know who edited this video. I don't know who edited this video and inserted all them laughs and stuff.
I honestly
Now, what she referring to is like one thing on the dating app. Everybody is mode one on a dating app. On the dating apps, everybody's well, not everybody, but a lot of them. A lot of them. That is one place where guys get a little confidence on the dating app, and that hitting them up just to come over. That hitting them up just to come over. That is a fairly common, fairly regular thing that guys do. Obsidian in the building said, Bernard Riley, you're right for NSA. Okay, NSA sex, non-sex for non-sex attention. Higher rank guys will mate down, but are much pickier when it comes to long-term relationships. We'll explain more if you open up the call lines. And thank you. Edward Anderson in the building says Bumble manipulates that shit because it's slanted to women. So Bumble, I don't think it's as slanted to women as you say. It just means that they got to click first. I mean, they got to, no strings attached. No strings attached. I don't think it's as slanted to women as much as they say. They claim that, but I don't think it is. I think that's just their marketing and their branding. That's just their marketing and their branding. Women have to make the first move. Women have to make the first move. That's it. That's it. They make that first move and then don't nothing happen. They say, hey, now the previous chick, the below average at best chick, she said that she made the first move and she went on and typed out a crafty paragraph based on everything that they said. And that was one thing I wanted to get into that I actually forgot to explain. There you go, Obsidian. That was one thing I wanted to get into that I actually forgot to explain, is that when I was on there, I used to do that. I used to put out a crafty message. I would read their profile. I would look at their pictures. I would see something in their pictures. Oh, you went to CMU or blah, 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 blah. I would notice this. I would notice that. I would look at that. And I would type out, a paragraph. That was dumb. That was dumb. You don't do that. I got more traction just by saying, hey, what's up? How you doing? Real short and quick. You either do that or if you're going to type something out, copy and paste it, and just hit every woman with the same opening. Yes, that's your best bet. But that junk that she described, dudes who do that, they wasting time. Women be ignoring the hell out of messages. They be there just soaking up attention. That's why I say it shouldn't be your only thing. It shouldn't be your only thing, but it's definitely a game you should play, but you got to be time efficient with it. You got to be time efficient with it. Men in training militia. I like it. Men in training militia. He says online dating is the pits. Yeah, it has its problem. He says, where is KFC when you need them? I think he means ARC. OGJ Speed, Nation of Islam dude. He got all the old hoes on Christian Mingle though, but he's part of the NOI. But anyway, we're gonna bring up Mumia Obsidian Ali. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Bernard? How you feeling, man?
Feeling great. And wait, real quick before we get into it, since Obsidian is up here, something that I try to periodically remember to do. Moderators, I don't see RM in the building. I know she got the link, copy and paste it and save, but drop the link. Black Manosphere events. Drop the link blackmanosphere.events so y'all can go to the website so you can purchase your tickets for the event, Mumia Obsidian Ali the Mumia Obsidian Ali experience going down June 9th through 11th. Make sure you go to the website, purchase your tickets. I think there's some type of half off kind of deal that I think I saw you guys talking about, but I don't know. I'm probably jumping the gun on that.
Yeah, you might be jumping the gun. I haven't checked the website yet, but since you let out the cat out the bag. Okay, so here's the deal. We're working it out for if you was an alum of last year's Black Manosphere meetup event in Atlanta, half off. If you are a student currently of Theo's, whether you went to the Black Manosphere meetup or not last year, half off. That's
okay.
the deal.
Got it. Sorry for jumping the gun on that. I saw some emails and some messages. I know if something like if that was official. Shouldn't have jumped the gun on that. But yeah, definitely go to the website. Definitely go to the website. Check that out. But and I was talking about the whole dating game and whatnot. You definitely have done a great deal of research on this. And I always say, look, this is somebody's quote, but the game is out there in the world, in the real world. I'm paraphrasing somebody. But
you're paraphrasing Mystery, the great pickup artist Mystery of the pickup artist on VH1 fame. He wrote a book, a very famous book called The Mystery Method: How to Get Beautiful Women into Bed, and was the subject of Neil Stiles Strauss's 2005 New York Times best-selling memoir, The Game: Penetrating the Secret Society of Pickup Artists. Mystery said the game is in the field.
Yes, and I agree with that 100%. But I love breaking down the science of it to some degree. More like I'm watching that's from more of a social commentary and observation standpoint. Like I'm watching human beings like a like somebody watching animals on National Geographic, observing patterns and behaviors. I like to watch human beings like that, and that is something that you more or less do when you start talking about.
Yeah, that's what got me interested in all this, Bernard. When I was a kid, I don't know if you remember because you're a bit younger than me, but when I was a kid, there was a TV show, and I think you can still watch it here on YouTube. There was a TV show called Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom, right? And the more modern version of that would be Animal Planet. And I used to watch it when I was a kid, and they would show all aspects of, animal life and things like that. And they would show mating and the various animals, snakes and bears and all kind of stuff. And I was really fascinated by that, literally the birds and the bees. That's what kind of got me into what I'm doing today as the dating coach for the non-select guy. And as a matter of fact, interestingly enough, I'm running an experiment right now, my own version of a double bind experiment. Part of it is being ran on Photo Feeler. That's a website that takes your pics, basically hot or not, takes your pics and analyzes them. So I'm having the lovely ladies of Photo Feeler analyze my I have 3 pics that I'm using to analyze right now. And I'm going to also use another source to use those same pictures and have ladies rate those. And the reason why I'm doing it is because if I can find out precisely what works or doesn't work for me, then I can take that and map that over to the fellas and tell them what probably will or won't work for them. So that's the whole thing. I'm running the experiment, and I'm my biggest lab rat.
Huh. Interesting. I I'm waiting for some content on that. That should be interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna run that along. Are you familiar with a gentleman by the name of Wheat Waffles?
I'm only familiar with him because you talked about him.
Okay, Wheat Waffles. I highly suggest all the brothers listening right now. You can find him on YouTube. He does excellent work. His name is Wheat Waffles, and he's out of the UK. I don't know exactly where in the UK, but he's out of the UK. He does excellent work. If you are a non-select guy, I know that's a very touchy subject in Black American life. I'm working tirelessly to bring more awareness to that. But if you're a non-select guy, Wheat Waffles is a godsend. And I'm going to be
how so?
Heavily.
Well, wait, hold on real quick. Yeah, explain that, because I just understood that he was he's an incel. Is that correct?
No, he actually has a girlfriend.
Okay, because I remember you said he did something you called the Black Pill Catechism.
Yes, and I haven't had a chance to do that. I need to do that.
Define what is a Black Pill Catechism.
Well, he has on his channel a video where he breaks down his beliefs in bullet point fashion. So he has like 100 different beliefs that he breaks down, and I called it a catechism. And some of the things I definitely agree with that he says, and others I don't. So I was gonna break down what I call a black pill catechism. He is a black pillar. Black pillars believe that physical attractiveness in the world in which we live is the single biggest driver of human mating and sexuality. That's the first point. Second point, black pillars believe that male attractiveness is the single biggest factor in whether a man will or will not be successful in the 21st century Western world mating market.
Well, let me interrupt you and ask you this. What are they talking about or defining as male attractiveness? Are they just looking at it just purely in terms of male facial structure and physique? That's all they're looking at it as?
That those are two very important components. They also look at it in terms of height.
Okay, and I think that's where the rub comes in, because I remember a conversation I was having with Lucario, and then he had said something along the line. I mean, this was, I think, one of the times I've interviewed him, and he had said something along the lines of, to certain men, he's like, well, you need to be more attractive. You need to be more sexually attractive. And I asked him a question. I was like, look, your face is your face. You can't grow 6 inches taller. You can go to the gym and work out. But what are you talking about? But the thing that he said is, no, sexually attractive behavior. He said you need to not be engaged in, you need to not engage in sexually unattractive behavior. You need to engage in attractive behavior. And I have talked to some women, and they confirm this. And I never looked at it like this, even though I think we're all subconsciously aware. Obviously you could do things that turn women off or put women off in some type of way. You do got to make sure that you move in a certain way and not just looking goofy or silly, dumb, or just not looking socially awkward out there. You do got to make sure that you do that. But I do think behavior and how you move and how you operate, that does have a bigger effect on the game than what a lot of the people who wear the title black pill, who think it's based solely off not solely, but the majority based off just your raw physical appearance.
Right.
What do you say about that, as far as just your overall general behavior?
I would say, to Mr. Lucario's point, as you related, that's a bunch of bunk. And here's the reason why.
All right, let's hear it.
Are you familiar with the Match Group?
Match, yeah, they basically own every dating app damn near, right?
Correct. Out of I want to say Dallas, Texas. Are you familiar with the net worth of the Match Group?
They are the net worth of all those apps together?
Yes,
it's something in the ballpark of a metric fuck ton of money.
30 billion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay.
And the predominant model, it was not always this way. Match has been around since the 1990s, and it was founded by a gentleman who is a graduate of Northwestern University, but I can't think of his name right now. But the predominant model of how we do mating online is the Tinder model of swipe right, swipe left. You just mentioned Bumble. They'd use that same model. That model is so powerful that it has catapulted the Match Group into a net worth of over 30 billion. So for the idea that behavior is something that's the linchpin for human sexual attraction, is it a factor? Yes. Is it a make or break one? No. And here's another reason why. Christian Rudder, founder of OkCupid, attempted with his team, he's a graduate of Harvard University. They attempted to do a pictureless version, if you will, of you ever see this show? There was a show on, I think it's Netflix. They did a show, and I think there's a channel. What's the name of that channel? they do social experiments too. I can't think of the name of it right now, but in any event, the premise of the show was you would talk to a member of the opposite sex, right? And y'all would only speak to each other. You can't see who each other are. So you would build up this rapport, and then you finally see who they are and find out if you still would like them. Even if you built up this rapport. You want to know what happened? The show flopped. And you want to know what happened with Christian Rudder's experiment in that same way, trying to develop a dating app along that same line, where you take the pictures out of it, it flopped.
You know, there's a show, and actually my woman was watching this show. This one, yeah, and they succeeded in doing that type of show you're talking about somewhere. I think they got up to 2 seasons where people would just talk and they couldn't see each other. Then once they made the connection, then they could finally meet and see each other. And they were like supposed to be like, practically engaged.
That's right.
Yeah. They Love is Blind. See, somebody know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So here's the deal with that. And I thought about doing some whole content on that. It was so many manosphere isms being showed and displayed there.
Oh yeah.
Where the guy who caused the guy, I mean, they couldn't see him. Now, keep in mind, they couldn't see him, but the guy who caused up the most controversy, because it's like the women, they would talk to the guys, but then they would be in their own separate apartment somewhere. They were in a house like, Big Brother or whatever. The men in one house, the women in one house. The women had all kind of controversy and a little bit of beef going on because they all were talking to the same guys. The most douchey dude, bro, manosphere, stereotypical Chad type dude.
Yep.
Even without them seeing him, he was still the one stirring up all the controversy, and the one that the women was fighting over. And then one of them did end up getting with a shorter, more nicer guy, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And she was mad that it didn't work out with her and the Chad type dude. And she, when they brought everybody together under the same roof, she kept trying to go over there and get with him.
Right.
Everybody else, all the other couples was having sex. She was like, well, I just don't feel like I'm there physically with you yet. So she just was holding out on the sex with him, but was kind of throwing herself at the other guy. I was like, man, it was so many manosphere isms and schisms going on in that show. It was ridiculous. But so that's one that I thought about doing some content on. There might be a copyright issue, so that's why I held back on it. But see, but overall, here's my biggest problem with the way you analyze that. And I think you're definitely right for dating apps, but dating apps, like, wouldn't you say that they're, when it comes to, behavior being a prime factor or mover in it all, dating apps can't measure that. They only can measure just the pic. So the dating app, the only thing they could go by is just how you look. That's it. So it is.
And how many women, especially in the Black community, how many Black women mate with jerks and assholes and narcissists? I'm using their words, fuck boys. How many of them do that all the time and then complain about it after the fact? How often does that happen?
Regularly.
Exactly. So again, my point is, and I see some brothers in the chat room who disagree. Good people can disagree. One brother says Obsidian thinks that he can take basic human interaction and reduce it to numbers. Brother, that ship has already sailed. All of this has already been figured out. Like I said, the Match Group has a net worth of over 30 billion. And the reason why I keep saying that is because money and net worth, that's something that's quantifiable, that's measurable, and cannot be denied. If that model, the Tinder swipe right, swipe left, which is the model of Bumble, the world's biggest and first feminist dating app for women that puts them in the driver's seat, if that weren't true, the Match Group wouldn't have that net worth. And it's only true because of how human beings, men and women alike, operate with mating. Seth Stevenson Vidowitz, he also talks about this.
Oh, well, hold your thought on what you're about to say about Seth Stevenson, because I do gotta get up for a quick second. But Black Wizard in the building with the $20 super chat, and you had said something like you had said you still have a wrench over here, LOL. I don't know why you wouldn't have one. No, you always been down, always added good things to the conversation every time you drop your comments over here. So yeah, definitely respect you and what you contribute to the show and what you contribute to the conversation. But he says, I disagree with Black Pillars focus on physique, but I do have to concede in an industrialized society where women need men less and less to maintain a decent standard of living.
Correct.
I can see how looks could be a primary focus.
Correct.
It definitely is. Only thing is, I will say actions, behaviors, and your overall social awareness, it definitely matters. Your social skills matter, and I think it tips the scale. I'm not that dude who think that some guy who's just a walking 3 on a scale from 1 through 10 can just social skills himself into, pulling some little Instagram looking baddie, and I don't buy that. If he could do that, then he has next level. He has beyond he has pimp level game at that point. I mean, he's just on a whole nother level. He's on a whole nother level if he could pull that off. Typically,
he's like an omega level mutant.
Yeah. But typically, I'd say that ain't happening. But I think it does. I think it does matter. It plays a bigger part. Like some people are just really good at talking to people, reading people, connecting with people, and like having that ability. I think it matters. I always question how easy it is for people to teach it. Like me and ARC have talked about that. Like how, some stuff is, I said some stuff you can't teach. He said some stuff you can't teach everybody, or some things are harder to teach certain people. That was how he put it.
I agree with his assessment. That's correct.
Yeah, and I think he was right on that too. But some of that stuff is just really hard to teach. So it's not as simple as, just hit a light switch and just you just turned into a social butterfly and you just all, just the life of the party all of a sudden. I don't think that is easy as just flipping a light switch. But I do think it does have a bigger factor in the equation than what a lot of people give it credit for. And I think using the online dating apps is that's an area where your personality to some degree is taken off the table. But thank you, Black Wizard, for your super chat. I do appreciate it. Men in Trading Militia says, as a professional image consultant of over 10 years, somebody trying to slide in on a market. I was just playing. Shout out to you. Appreciate that. Men in Trading Militia says, as a personal image consultant of over 10 years, trust me, style and presentation does matter. It certainly does. But I'll let you respond to those 2 super chats as I step away for a brief second. You got it.
Yeah. MIT Militia, man, you should join us in Philly next month, man, at the Mumia Obsidian Ali Experience, a production of the Black Manosphere meetup, June 9th through the 11th, man. You can check out everything on the website, www.blackmanosphere.events/MOAE. Look forward to seeing you, man. I consider myself, I'm a big student. Even more than a teacher or an instructor, I consider myself a student. I'm always learning. It's never too late to learn, and keeps a zest for life and keeps things interesting and fresh for me. And you're 100% correct. Presentation means everything, and men have to accept that in a 21st century Western world, and for our particular purposes in this conversation, Black American context, appearance is everything. Black women are intensely visual. Consider this: Black women use social media more than anybody. This has been documented. Documented studies have been done on this. Black women use social media, and social media is comprised primarily of pictures and video. Okay. Matchmakers, professional matchmakers, I've talked about this for years in my podcast. Professional matchmakers in Essence magazine. Essence magazine is to Black women what the New York Times, the gray lady, is to the coastal elites. It is the magazine of record to upscale Black women. These 2 matchmakers said that Black women pay priority of importance to appearance more than their white, Jewish, or Asian clients. Don Muzan, out of Rutgers University 8 years ago wrote that black women, after an intense study she conducted, found that black women in particular have the highest mating aspirations of all women in America. And yes, a big part of that is predicated on appearance. Not all of it, but a lot. The other things that they included as well as was college education, earning. Kevin, our good friend and dearly departed brother, I affectionately refer to him as Saint Kevin. All he was doing was just reiterating what all of these insights were saying years before he came on the scene. What I told you about with the matchmaking duo in Essence Magazine, that was in 2015. What I'm relating to you with Professor Don Muzan of Rutgers University, Go Scarlet Knights, that was back in 2013. So when Kevin came on the scene in what made him famous 2 years ago, he was only reiterating what has already been out there. And Wheat Waffles, out of the UK, he's only, for our purposes, he's only once again reiterating it. So yes, I would agree with the brother MIT Militia. And if I may, while you get settled in, Bernard, if I could quickly respond to a few comments. A brother by the name of Mari Mo Return says, look at Derek Jackson. There's genuine guys who say the same stuff he says, but don't get no booty. Keisha finds Derek attractive, so he's getting booty even with the wife. Now, I told everybody, I've said it many times, and I did that on purpose. I went to go see Derek Jackson and his cohorts, his compatriots, his other members of the Derek Jackson cartel, if you will, 3 years ago. Matter of fact, 3 years to the month. It was in May 4th, 2019. And I took my research assistant, and we checked it out, and we saw firsthand. I mean, I learned a number of things from Derek, but one of them, which is right in line with what Wheat Waffles and others saying, make no mistake about it. Appearance matters to black women a lot. And he got the lion's share of the appearance. You know, he eclipsed Ace Metaphor. He eclipsed Stefan Labassiere. He easily eclipsed them. They clearly were there to see him. And my research assistant went to the ladies' room after the main event, and she got an earful of the ladies in the ladies' room talking about what they wanted to do to Derek, how Derek could get in. And as we all know, several years later, Derek was partaking of what was on offer because there was so many ladies willing to spend an evening or spend 15 minutes or whatever. So, yeah. Black women can and will trade off conscientiousness, intelligence, earning, all that stuff about character and integrity. That's way after the fact. In that moment, they can and will trade that off for a jawline so-and-so. They will do it. Derek Jackson is the proof. So I'm just saying what the studies say. Leo Anthony says studying stats won't help you attract women or learn how to deal with them. Wrong. Seth Stevenson David Owitz, New York Times best-selling author, has a new book out that completely debunks what Leo Anthony is saying. One of the things he says in the book is that you want to look more competent and smart, put on glasses, grow a beard. And I have an experiment running right now with my picture, the one that I'm wearing a blue suit, blue shirt, red ascot, holding a cane from the Black Manosphere meetup in Atlanta. Remember that night that we did that photo shoot, Bernard, in my presidential suite? I was sitting there taking a picture, and Will took of me while I'm looking straight into the camera with a pair of glasses, and I'm holding my cane. That is the highest ranked picture right now on Photo Feeler in terms of being smart.
How do they rank pictures on Photo Feeler? And I'm trying to find that comment. I do want to circle. Just remember that comment that you just responded to. I do want to circle back to that. How do they rate or rank the pictures on Photo Feeler?
You can set it up to, of course, we live in a woke age, so you can do it with, you only want women to rate you, men to rate you, or both, depending on your own gender and so forth. And you can set the age parameters, and these people come in and they rate you based on 3 criteria: how smart you are, how trustworthy you are, and how attractive you are, on a scale of 1 to 10. The much dreaded, notorious scale. and I have 3 pictures out there. You want to know the least ranked picture I got up there? Interestingly enough, is the one you're looking at right now. And you want to know the reason why?
Yeah.
Because the ladies say I look too arrogant.
Yeah.
They praise my style, but they said that I look too arrogant.
They like arrogance. Why they see that's showing the element of fakeness right there already, because in real life they like a certain air of arrogance, a certain degree of arrogance. But before we get to what Black Wizard is saying here, what was that comment that somebody made? They said something along the lines that you can't learn research and studying and reading books. That's not going to help you learn how to get women.
Yes, that was Neil Anthony. Yes, and I'm saying that he's wrong.
There's an element. There's a lot. I think there's a lot of truth in what he's saying, in my opinion, because getting out there it's almost like, you can learn all the odds and ends and mechanics of riding a bike, but if you never got on a bike, it's like you got to get on the bike. That's where it comes off as, problematic. Not problematic. It's not even a problem, because like I said, I like to study things. I like to learn things. I like to learn it from an academic or scientific standpoint. But when I'm learning about it versus when I'm actually pursuing a woman, it's almost like two different things. Like you can learn in terms of game. I think, game, you can learn a lot of good do's and don'ts. But it's a different ball game. Like if you look at somebody who's breaking down human mating, you always talk about what's the name of the book, The Science of Human Mating? Who wrote it? I forgot. David and Buss. Yeah. So when you talk about that, like, I never look at books like that as, oh, I'm going to learn how to get some ass from reading this book. I just like to read up on stuff like that because it's interesting. But it seems like you go the next step and say, oh no, I'm going to learn how to attract women from reading this book by David and Buss. Is like explain that one, because that one that's one I've never really understood.
Well, David Buss, he is powerful in that he can give you the raw data and tell you what the results are. So here's one example of how you can use David Buss's, and the name of the book would be The Evolution of Desire, Strategies in Human Mating. Here's how you can use that book to help your game. Do not be friends with women. Why? Because being a friend with women pretty much dooms you to the friend zone, of which there is an 80% failure rate of escaping it. Do you realize that you have a better chance of escaping Alcatraz prison than you do the friend zone?
But would you say that book that you're talking about, would you say that's like a game book?
It is a fundament of game. Game is and when I talk about game, to be fair, we're talking about the white side of it. Game is really evolutionary psychology applied. It's applied evolutionary psychology. So what David Buss, Jeffrey Miller, Matt Ridley, Robin Baker, etc. et al. What these guys have done with their researchers, guys like Mystery and Neil Stiles Strauss and others have, Rollo Tomasi, shout out to him. All they've done is just taken those insights and applied it in the field. So one thing to do is never be a friend to women. Because if you're a friend to women, chances are extremely high you're not going to get out of it. That is a bad strategy to get laid. Being what's known in the pickup parlance as being a beta male orbiter. Bad strategy. It's better for you to just go ahead and just get struck down. Shout out to ARC. Better for you to be mode 1. Get struck out and move on quickly. That's much better. Much more efficient. Just get it out the way.
Yeah. Black Wizard in the building with a $5 super chat says, to be fair, Mystery in his book, Mystery Method, even spoke about looks being important in the form of peacocking. Thank you.
What do you think I'm doing in the picture right there? I'm
But they
literally
went.
peacocking
They
with the ascot and cane. I'm literally and Adidas shades. Literally peacocking.
but they wasn't feeling that one though.
According to what the ladies say, they say I look too arrogant, and I'm inclined to agree with you. I take that with a grain of salt because we know that ladies really do like assholes because they keep banging them and they keep reproducing them. If they really didn't like assholes like that, how come there's so many of them? Now answer that question. If they really don't like assholes, how come we got so many of them? Where'd they come from? The stork just dropped them off? They pie people? Where'd they come from?
Shout out to Jay, A Story to Tell. Make sure you check out that brother. Make sure you go check out his channel. He says, facts, Bernard, you don't become a man until you go out into the world and get crushed. I think you can get crushed and have to rebuild a bigger and better you. Thank you for the super chat. Do appreciate that. All right. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all hit the like button. And I was just about to ask RM to do that, but she's already on it, dropping the link right there to the Mumia Obsidian Ali experience. Make sure you visit the website. Purchase your tickets. It'll be going down in Philly. I will be there. Obsidian will be there. Dennis Sperlin will be there. Theo Waff, Shannon Rawls, and Ike Ogiamian. Make sure you go to the website, get your tickets. Where else we got in here? Trying to double check, trying to quadruple check to see. Nope, I didn't miss a super chat. I thought I missed a super chat. Thought I missed somebody's super chat, but I already saw this one. Okay, cool. All right. So back into it. Where were we? I forgot where we was at.
Yeah, we were discussing the efficacy of using 21st century basically data metrics to apply to a 21st century Black American dating and mating field. Which I do all the time. I'm running an experiment as we speak. A social experiment. Yeah, so yeah. I'm a huge proponent. Everybody knows I'm kind of like a nerdy geek at heart. And I'm always a huge proponent of using cutting edge science in my amorous operations.
Yeah, definitely. And
hack into the ladies' mating psychology.
Right. What's your thoughts? Even though you probably don't know a whole lot of details of, I don't know if you know a whole lot of details about it, but just throwing it out there from a shoot from the hip standpoint, and you can break down some psychology in this one. When as I the title topic where I was talking about Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan right there, where she basically threw it out there that she gained 15 pounds of relationship weight.
Yes.
And then she did what she had to do to lose it. And a lot of people came for her. Social media went after her. A lot of the sisterhood had a lot to say about her losing weight for her man. And what's your thoughts and takeaway on that?
How do you think she got so much pushback from the lovely ladies of the community? Why do you think that is?
That's what I'm trying. That's what I want. That's what I was asking you. But I look at it from this standpoint. Is that they don't want somebody, especially a public and visible person, putting the notion out there that there should be standards. There should be standards, especially with the type of men that a lot of y'all say that y'all want. Yeah, there should be standards and requirements. They don't like that she either directly or indirectly push back against the whole, love me for me, accept me as I am, propaganda that they put out there.
Yeah.
So they're fighting back on that one. That's my take on it.
Well, I'm just looking him up right now. Michael B. Jordan is 6 feet tall, has a net worth of $25 million. Our good friend and brother, dearly departed brother St. Kevin, would not include him in the high value man territory. I'm going to amend that stipulation because most black people simply don't know many regional vice presidents of mergers and acquisitions. Most black people know people like Michael B. Jordan, celebs. So we're going to use that. He would qualify as a high value black man, period. And high value black men don't do fat chicks, period, point blank. And Lori Harvey understood that 15 pounds is 15 pounds too much. I got to work, get it off. If she wants to keep a high value man like Michael B. Jordan. The end. Mic drop.
Yeah.
That's the price. That's the price you pay, ladies, for Michael B. Jordan. Calorie deficit. That's the price you pay. Pilates. That's the price you pay.
That don't sound like a high price to pay. To me, at least. I don't see why that's viewed as a high price to pay.
So I think the ladies are mad because once again, the Godfather is undefeated even in death. Once again, shout out to the Saint Kevin. Ladies, there's going to be no Lizzos, no Jill Scotts, no Kelly Prices. There's going to be none of that with a brother like Michael B. Jordan. Forget it. It's not going to happen. Not today, not no day. Period. And they're angry because, once again, what St. Kevin said has been borne out to be true. And the ladies that are with those guys, they're willing to do the work like Lori Harvey. They're willing to do it. They will starve to be with a man like that. Period.
It's funny when you say they will starve to be with a man like that, but that sounds like a metaphor, but no, it's literal. that was meant literally, but it sound like a metaphor. But no, they will literally starve to be with a man.
And here's the other thing too, and this is something that the brothers need to pay attention to. This is the part that nobody's talking about. Michael B. Jordan didn't have to jump on her to lose weight. She did that on her own. You want to know why? Because he that dude. Or as Ace Metaphor put it the other day, and I think he's correct on this, he that nigga. That's why. So he don't even have to say anything to her. She know the deal. So if you got to be jumping all over your woman to lose weight, you know what that says? You're not that nigga. That's what it says. This dating and mating thing is ruthless, man.
No,
there's nothing nice about
it. Generally, what you're saying is true, but I don't think it's only a matter of you not being that dude or not being that nigga. I mean, it could be a problem in just the chick that you're with. I'm not of the view that every chick will flip and get right. No, some of them are staunch down in their BS to where they standing in it.
As a general rule, now everybody can point to Will Smith and all that. We got that. But as a general rule, generally, high post brothers don't get with highly disagreeable women. Generally.
Right. No, that's absolutely true. And if they do something, they're stupid because they have the most amazing funnel ever.
Yep.
They're especially if they're attractive, they're talented, they're good looking, they're visible, they got status, they have everything to have the most amazing funnel ever. So once you got the best funnel on earth, to be bad in your selection process when your options are not limited, like it's no excuse for that. I could give somewhat of a pass when somebody with limited options make a bad choice with their limited options. Okay, cool, whatever. I mean, still got to be careful. Still, your fault if you tolerating a bunch of bullshit. But either way it go, he had limited options. Mm-hmm. When you don't have limited options, it's really no excuse for that one. But Stefan, educated Tyrone in the building, he says the more black women are bona fide 8s and 9s, treat their men well publicly. Okay, yeah, I see what he's saying now. The more black women who are bona fide 8s and 9s treat their men well publicly, sub 7 women hate it because it sets a precedent and highlights their flaws. And you speak to what I was sort of referring to. You speak to what I was sort of referring to is that they don't like it publicly being put out there. they don't like that publicly being just thrown out there like that. That she's basically saying this is the bar, this is the standard, this is what it takes. They don't like that. They don't like that at all.
By the way, I would caution the brothers out there to be very careful with how they handle this current situation with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. And here's the reason why. The reason they are a thing right now is because it's so rare. You got to remember, the media doesn't talk about what happens on a mundane daily basis. Well, here we are on the corner of Broad and Erie, and everything looks just fine. I mean, it doesn't work that way. They go to the places where stuff is happening crazy. So Johnny Depp and Amber Heard are the man bite dog story. And I would caution everybody to regard it that way. As a
hold on, why are you saying that they're the man bite dog story?
Because they're not the norm.
In what way?
Far away outside of the norm. But you don't see guys of that stature always in trouble with their ladies. That just and the data bears this out.
Well, no, he falls in the category of what I said. When you're that guy who have the most amazing funnel ever of women, then you're operating stupidly if you're making bad choices.
Right.
So I would say he falls in that category.
Yeah, he's a rare.
Yeah, they obviously know. So now I see what you mean. I thought you were saying this is man bite dog story, and it's rare in terms of a woman being, being aggressive and violent in a relationship.
No. I'm saying it's rare in terms of a guy doing something like that and getting with a woman who clearly is dysfunctional. That's of his stature. That's rare. It happens, right, but rare.
No, got you. I definitely got you in that regard. I definitely got you in that regard. That part is rare. It's no. See, I don't even like to go down this route because I want all the attention and focus to be on her because she came out and put the story out there as a victim to violence, and it's proven that she was the one who was violent. So I don't even want to talk about.
I don't even know why they're going through all the machinations with the trial itself because it seems pretty obvious that she's like batshit.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. Go through it. Drag out every morsel and molecule. Drag it all out. Sue her for everything you can sue her for. Make a big spectacle about it. I'm loving every minute of it. I want every minute of it. I want to see him win triumphantly and her lose. I want to see her just royally take a L. That's what I'm looking for here. The world needs to see that. So I mean,
Lori Harvey is doing what any woman will do to see. Here's the thing: to retain a high value man. See, here's the thing. We think that only attracting a mate is all it takes. That's not true. Attracting a mate is part of it, but retaining that mate is another part of it. Attracting is one thing, retaining is another. You have to have mate retention. She's doing mate retention because she understands that she's in a highly competitive field for brothers like a Michael B. Jordan. Highly competitive. The vultures are circling. So what she's doing is a form of mate guarding. Being as hot as she can be herself, kind of acts as a hedge against him having a wandering eye anywhere else. Is it perfect? No, nothing is perfect. Is it guaranteed? No, nothing is guaranteed. But will it improve her chances of holding on to Michael B. Jordan? Yes. It will. It's not a guarantee, it's not a lock, but it'll improve it. Yes.
Yeah. Switching gears for a slight second here. One thing that we stumbled into, how the Lori Harvey situation, it more or less proves that Kevin Samuels was right. As they always say, so and so was right. Kevin Samuels was right on that one. One thing that I want to throw out here, his old friend Kendra G. She had a moment on her show. I want to play this clip here. Because I love it. You probably saw this. I love it when something happens where the people who criticize Kevin Samuels, where they end up in a situation where the thing that they criticize him for, they end up indirectly, in some cases unknowingly, happen to eat their words, so to speak. And this was this was more or less a situation would happen right there. So I do want to roll this. Normally say not so beautiful bean footage, but this is some beautiful bean footage. So let's go.
Okay.
Hold on. Play ball.
Independent dispatcher, also owns her own security company, 2 adopted children. Do you have an appearance requirement?
I am short, so I like taller guys. I'm 5 foot.
Okay.
So
5'3" would be good.
no, I need somebody at least 5'9".
At least 5'9". You're 5', you said.
Yeah.
Does he have to make a certain amount of money?
Yes. He has to make at least 200,000 a year.
Are you on drugs?
No. I own 2 companies, Kendra. So I make some money. So I need somebody who can keep up with me. Kendra said I'm on drugs. No. In my right mind, same mind.
This is Kim, Houston, Texas, 30.
All right, there it is, right there. And that chick, she was 5'5", and when you're 5'5" and well-rounded, I know she just
Every bit of a
like
size, just size 20, 22.
You know, I know she just looked like a little big ball of joy. But anyway, I love it when the people who tried to argue, fight against Kevin Samuels end up in real time eating their words indirectly when they run into it. They run into the thing that one of the things that he was fighting against. He was fighting against that mindset and that mentality right there. That's what he was fighting against, and they criticized him for that. And then now look at her. What's your take? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it is interesting. We did a show on Kendra G and her run-in with Kevin Samuels when he was alive and quick about a year ago. And my oh my, what a difference a year makes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Here she is. I mean, she was railing against Kevin for the very thing that she's dealing with right now. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I think at this point, I think it's fair to say it's not to say that that men in general, black men in particular. I think it's fair to say that there are brothers that can be delusional in their own way. That's true, but you can't get past this. The most delusional people are women. Women who have no idea what their own mate value is delusional about it. And therefore, what they can hope to actually attract out on the open mating market. I mean, it's just flat out delusional. And that's the reason why I make such a big deal on the other side of it with the non-select guy, because that's part of my philosophy. Knowing is half the battle. When I was a kid, I used to watch the G.I. Joe cartoon. Knowing is half the battle. If you know where you are with things, then number one, you know what's possible and what's not possible. Number two, you know where your strengths and your weaknesses lie. Number three, you know how to shore up those strengths and improve those weaknesses. But if you think that there's no difference between you and a Derrick Jackson, you're fooling yourself. You're insane. And so this is the reason why I'm constantly hitting on that non-select guy piece. I'll use an example. If you're a brother that's my height, I'm the tallest of the short guys. I'm 5'7".
That mean you didn't qualify for the woman who was just talking then. You didn't make the cut.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
The reality of it is, the simple reality of it is that if you're a short guy, and I am short, I wear a 44 short suit. If you're a short guy, dating life is going to be a lot more difficult for you by definition, especially in Black America. Now, it's not a death sentence, but you're definitely facing an uphill climb, no question about it. You can't get past it. You can't.
Christian Hutchinson, you're not at 5'7". You're not good enough for that 5 foot ball of joy that was just on the screen. You're not good enough for her. Just so you know. All right.
I think it's much wiser to accept that fact of life and to do everything you can to maximize around that, to compensate for it. So one way you can compensate if you're a shorter guy is to dress your ass off, have a sense of style. This is where St. Kevin Samuels comes into play. Having a great image comes into in the View. And for the brother in there saying indigenous TV, then date a short non-black woman, wrong. Compatibility is hugely important. You talked earlier about David Buss and the Evolution of Desire. Here's another example how you can use that book, straight raw data, to improve your dating and mating. A big part of mating is compatibility. Same race, similarity. Same race, same geography or nation or area of the country, and so forth. The more you step away from those similarities, the harder it gets for you to mate effectively. So the idea, I know a lot of brothers have an emotional attachment to the idea of passport, bro, and SYSBM. And in principle, I support it, but it doesn't work that way practically on the ground. On the ground, people mate based on similarity. And the more similarity you have, the more success you have. That's just the plain truth. That's what the data says. That's what the numbers say. And see, here's the thing. You can't have it both ways, fellas. You can't be a thinking black man when it suits you and then be a non-thinking black man when it suits you. You can't be red pill / I'm like a dark red pill, I guess you could say. I'm not a full-on black pill. I'm definitely not a bright red pill. So I guess I'll be a maroon or burgundy pill. You can't be that when it suits you, then reject it when it suits you. You're either going to be consistent with it or you're not.
Well, see, here's the thing. When you talk about compatibility matters and all of that, I think in this this world that we live in, I think it's very possible. And I say this as somebody who likes black women. I like darker women. That's just more of what I'm attracted to. But I think is somebody who's a human being who your temperament and elements of your personality are the same. You could somebody who came from another, somebody who's of a different race. You could very well, just from a cultural maybe mindset or personality standpoint, could be more connected, similar, or compatible with that person than somebody who came from the same neighborhood who's just an outright jackass. So that's why that aspect of what you're saying, I don't necessarily go with, but I don't know, that's where I'm at with that. We can circle back to that one if you want to, but I do want to deal with this indigenous TV thing. He says, I'm 6 feet, height don't mean nothing.
Wrong.
Why? I agree, and I say this as somebody who's 6'1". I mean, dating apps aren't the end all be all for me, but women, I do know from experience being on dating apps for like 4 years, they ask height. If you don't put it in the profile, they ask height. And when I put my height in the profile, I did notice I got more matches. When it wasn't in the profile, I noticed that they asked more. And when they did ask, and I said I was 6'1", a lot of times they would respond with, the emojis with the face with the hearts in the eyes. Like, they like height. Like, we're not gonna play around with that. I'm not gonna pretend like being 6'1" doesn't give me an advantage over somebody who's 5'6". Now, he could be 5'6", and obviously there could be things that he could be, he could be outperforming me in every other category, and he probably end up doing better than me. But we can't pretend like being taller doesn't help. That's like it's damn near like saying a woman having nice breasts don't help.
And all the statistics bear it out. I mean, and not just with regard to mating, but indirectly mating. So we know that for men, resources and status have direct applicability to mating. Why? Because women select and have preference for men who are high in status and high in resources, right? So this is the reason why bankers at Goldman Sachs, you know how Goldman Sachs hires its bankers, Bernard? Male. You know how they do it? They only accept guys who went to Harvard, and all of them are 6 feet and over. Now, if you look at the numbers and you understand numbers and probabilities and statistics, that's greater than chance.
Wait, time out. I got a time out. Are you saying that if you say they average, the average height for a banker at Goldman Sachs or wherever you said is 6 feet?
Correct.
Okay. Because I don't think they could effectively pull that off where everyone that they hire is over 6 feet. I get the average is higher than normal because I guess taller men walk in the interview, they they're more likely to get hired, just like how prettier women are more likely to get hired. I think it
Correct.
works probably something like that.
So,
But if they literally didn't hire anybody under 6 feet, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Well, what I would say is, first of all, these are very smart people. They can find workarounds around it, and they do.
Perhaps, yeah.
Malcolm Gladwell wrote a very good book about this some years back called Blink. And Malcolm Gladwell is no red pillar. He's no Manispherian. He's just looking at the data, looking at the facts. He bears out the fact that Goldman Sachs, one of the country's, if not the world's, foremost leaders in finance, they have executives that go to one of the best universities on planet Earth and are in the most preferred height area of height distribution, much more than chance would predict. Much more. The last time a president was my height was over a century ago. That's a fact. The last time a man won Best Oscar that was Tom Cruise's height, which is mine, or shorter, James Cagney, I think it was, damn near a century ago, if I remember right. The sheer number of Oscar winners for Best Male Actor that are over 6 feet is much more than what chance would predict. Can't get past it. And people like Al Pacino or Tom Cruise or Kevin Hart, they're the exception that proves the rule. Dustin Hoffman, I'll grant that. Dustin Hoffman, again, proves the rule. They're the exceptions. They're exceptional people. And which is the good news. If you're a short guy, you want to know how you can get around a lot of this? Be Dustin Hoffman level exceptional. Be Al Pacino level exceptional. Kevin Hart. Did you know that Kevin Hart is like if not the most he's one of, if not the most successful financially comedians on planet Earth. This is according to Forbes magazine. I think his net worth is somewhere. His net worth is on par with Will Smith's. They're in the same neighborhood. I think Will Smith is somewhere before the slap. It's somewhere around 300 million, and if I remember right, Kevin Hart's is like in the high 200 million range. So they're in the same neighborhood. Robert Downey Jr. around the same height, carried the Marvel Cinematic Universe on his back, billions of dollars. So if you're a shorter than average guy, the way to get around that is to be, an outlier in terms of status and resources. That's the way you get around it. That's one way you get around it. Another way you get around it is that you have a real strong, sense of style and grooming. Personality does matter, Bernard. I'm not saying personality doesn't matter at all. Personality does matter. There's something to be said for that. Humor matters because humor is a proxy for intelligence. Women do select for guys that are funnier than not because, again, humor is a proxy for intelligence. So those things you can kind of, cobble together some workarounds, but just standalone on its own, yeah, it's a fact that tall people make more money than shorter people on average. It's a fact, especially men. It's a fact. If you're a tall woman, it helps to, if you were in the world of fashion, you're a fashion model, or if you're in the WNBA or some shit like that. But outside of that, being a tall woman can actually work against you. I've seen some studies on this. Being a tall woman can actually work against you in many ways. But for being a tall guy, you can get elected to office just looking like you are a commanding leader. Just looking like it. You don't have to actually be it. Malcolm Gladwell talks about this in the book Blink. Did you know that King David, remember the story David and Goliath? You know how tall David was? We all know about Goliath. Goliath, depending on the biblical scholar you talk to, Goliath ranges in height somewhere between 6'10" and 10 feet. But most biblical scholars agree that Goliath was basically Shaq. Right? Do you know who King David was? You know how tall he was?
Negative.
Kevin Hart.
I don't know. Oh, so they're saying he was about so they're saying he was about 5'4".
About 5'3", thereabout. Yeah.
5'3". Okay.
And the average height of an Israeli soldier back then,
I was just about to say that average height had to be shorter than what the
average
average
height,
height is.
that because David at the time was still a boy. So he's, in other words, he still had to grow a little bit. The average height of an Israeli soldier was about 5'6". So King David, as an adult man, you know, the story with Bathsheba and all that, King David, he would have been I might have been just slightly taller than him. The average Israeli male today is 5'9".
Yeah. I was looking up something on that story. You know, when we think slingshot, we thinking like the modern day slingshot, but the slingshots back then were pretty damn crafty and creative. Like King David, you know, the David and Goliath story. David was more advantaged than what people think. If you look at the type of slingshots that they used back then,
He used tech. He used tech.
Yeah, you could
beat Goliath. He used tech.
Yeah, you could definitely kill somebody with those slingshots they used back then. Those was war weapons. But yeah, that's a
Alexander the Great, who was another short guy, 5'7", out of Greece, Macedonia, or Macedon as they called it back then, son of King Philip. Alexander the Great, part of his military forces, he had javelin throwers, he had cavalry that was on chariots and horses, and then he also had guys with slingshots. Highly effective. Highly, because they were very mobile and they were very accurate. They were like the snipers of the era.
I'm gonna segue into this Jordan Peterson thing that I think he's might be under a little bit of hot water for this, a little bit. This article that I got here is looking like it's related to this whole body positivity thing. That sort of that was in the backdrop of the show. Well, actually, in the forefront of the show, when he's talking about the Lori Harvey situation, people coming for her for losing weight for her man. Jordan Peterson is just recently into some nonsense on Twitter. I think he either got kicked off or left Twitter. So Jordan Peterson, it says, dragged so hard he's logging off. Jordan Peterson leaves Twitter following backlash to his tweet about a woman's body. Self-censorship as a multiplier of cancel culture, Jordan Peterson once said. It says, right-wing cult hero Jordan Peterson is quitting Twitter. Peterson's departure follows blowback over his remark denigrating Sports Illustrated swimsuit model Yumi Nu. Do you know are you familiar with her?
I have no idea who that is.
We will pull up photos. Just give me a second. Nu is the publication's first plus-size Asian American swim. Plus-size Asian, that don't exist.
Actually, it does.
No, I don't believe it. I've seen some fat Asian kids, but they normally beat them into shape by the time they're 13.
Yeah.
But anyway, he criticized the publication's first plus-size Asian American swimsuit model. Okay. The psychologist whose self-help novel 12 Rules for Life advised readers to set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world slammed Nu's appearance, says, sorry, not beautiful, and no amount of authoritarian tolerance is going to change that. Peterson tweeted of her photo in Sports Illustrated. Peterson's unsolicited opinion did not go over well. While many disagreed with him, more suggested it would have been better if he didn't offer his opinion at all. Shame on you, you bad man, for speaking. Society is slowly beginning to reject antiquated, narrow, and often racist standards. They put that in with racism, saying that fat woman is not beautiful. They're putting that right next to racism.
Yeah.
Often racist standards of beauty is also becoming less acceptable to mock and judge others' appearance, which happens most often to women. Which beauty standards were applied? What if beauty standards were applied to men as if there's not standards that are applied to men? Mocking bad takes, however, remains a beloved pastime. That is what Jordan Peterson is under a little bit of fire for.
So here's my
Again-
question. First of all, we're gonna look at the pictures of Miss New.
Yeah, while you speak, I'll be pulling it up.
Yeah. So there's a number of questions here. So the first question I have, because I am aware of Sports Illustrated featuring non-conventionally attractive, that is to say, young, nubile, usually white, models on their swimsuit cover. So they've replaced Paulina Paraskova and Christy Brinkley with alternatives, right? Ashley Graham and so forth. Okay. So the first question I have about this is, are the circulation numbers, sales of Sports Illustrated up, down, or flat since they made that change? Because that would be the single biggest indicator of whether they're going in the right direction. If the sales are through the roof, if men are buying it, you can't really argue with it. If that's what men want to see, because Sports Illustrated is geared toward men. So if men buy it, you can't argue with that. On the other hand, if sales plummet or they go down tick, and men don't buy it, well, that's another indicator. It means that men don't want it. And if it remains flat, it says it doesn't matter either way. Guys are going to buy it, whether it's Christy Brinkley or whether it's Miss New or Ashley Graham or whoever. So that would be my first question. What does this data tell us? That would be my first question. My second question is, why is it so important for women to change culture? Why does that matter to them so much? Regarding beauty standards and stuff. Why does that matter so much? Why?
Because they don't want to meet standards, so they want the culture to change to reflect the place where they're the place that they're currently wallowing in.
I agree with you. I would put a refinement on it. So we have to ask who's really banging the drum here. So we just talked about Lori Harvey. Is Lori Harvey one of these people banging the drum for this?
No.
Is Kim Kardashian one of the people banging the drum for this?
Kim Kardashian? No, I don't think so. She's banging the drum for a different kind of culture, like probably I don't know this for sure. I mean, well, I would suspect she probably banging the culture for maybe like hoe acceptance, but not fat acceptance.
Like Amber Rose. So that's a subset. So we can put that off to the side. Bernice Burgos. Is Bernice Burgos out there talking about we gotta have body positivity acceptance? A Gabrielle Union. I'm trying to think of black women who are known for their beauty. Their beauty plays an outsized role in how they actually make money. Are these the type of women that are banging the drum for this? See, when I hear stuff like this, I think of Feminista Jones, who at one time almost weighed 400 pounds at 6 feet and had to get the weight literally sucked out of her body. And she was still big. See, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about the losers of the mating game on the female side. See, normally when we think about losers of the mating game, we think about males. Because historically speaking, 80% of women got to reproduce and put their genes into the future versus roughly half that of males. So there is a such thing as male losers of the mating game.
Right.
But what this tells us is that there are female losers of the mating game too. We just don't look at it and see it that way. And we also know, and shout out to the authors of A Billion Wicked Thoughts, we know that culture, women's brains are designed, right, to pay very close attention to what culture tells them. Cultural cues, social cues, what's good, what's a good man, what's a bad man, what you should do, how you should dress. This is the reason why women are so obsessed with it, because they need that information to help them make decisions. So if they can rejigger what culture says to do, you see where I'm going with this? So that's the reason why it matters so much to them. Change what is beautiful so I can be included too, and I can get a shot at Michael B. Jordan too.
what do you think about the overall effectiveness? Because that was some debates that I've had, or just conversations I've had with people on my channel most of the time, where we're talking about just the overall effectiveness at media blitz campaigns and or propaganda actually stirring the pot to change culture. I think it does work. I do believe, and I'll pull up this article not this article, but this image that I have here. It might be kind of hard to see, but we'll work around it. This is from Calvin Klein, magazine they got going on. That was 1999. I don't know if y'all can see that up top, where they got the woman who's skinny up top. You look at 2019, you look at what they got going right there. We ain't even about to deal with the pregnant man or skinny fat beer belly dude. I don't know what they selling right there. We're not even about to deal with that one.
Right.
But the the you see the woman, that's the picture on top with the woman, the skinny woman up there. That's 1999.
Correct.
I don't believe they could effectively put this Yumi Nu, I think I said her name right.
Right.
1999, they couldn't put her in the on the cover of any damn thing. They just clearly couldn't do it. But right now, even right now, on today, right now as we speak, when you look at this woman, Yumi Nu, who's on the cover, even right now, I'm trying to find it. Look, there it is. There it is. Like Jordan Peterson's comment was not be controversial in 1999.
Right.
It would be like, what the hell are y'all doing putting this woman on the cover of any damn thing?
Right.
But right now, I think they've won the propaganda war, in the sense that men are like, hey, she look good. Look at her face though. I still hit that.
And that's a good point.
She just thick.
That's
So
a fair point.
in a way, but hold on, I just want to make sure I land the plane. The woman in that 2019 picture, they ain't, well, maybe they have converted some guys over to that. I don't know. I don't think they've converted them over there, but they've definitely converted a good percentage of the male population over to the Yumi Nu thing. So I mean, shout out to Jordan Peterson holding the line. This is Sparta. He's holding that line. Shout out to him. But no, I think they've won that war.
See, what's interesting, I'm looking her up right now. She's actually biracial. She's Japanese Dutch. Okay, she's Japanese Dutch. I don't know which parent is which. She's 5'11" and almost 250 pounds. And she's about 26, 27 years old. Okay, so here's the deal. Number one, men will pretty much bang anything. We are evolutionarily wired to do so. High post men like Jordan Peterson will bang women like her on the quiet for the free. We'll do it. Now, do we want to be seen in public with that? No. Jordan Peterson would not want to be seen in public with that. On his arm, as his standard bearer and apostle. The literal face of the Jordan Peterson brand. This takes us back to Lori Harvey again. I know a lot of ladies don't want to hear this, but in a very real sense, you are like trophies. You are like male trophies. We do view you that way. That's the reason why a lot of guys, liken you to cars. Cars are trophies for men. They're status symbols. You want to know why? Because that's what you prefer. Think about it. If you live in a major American city, Philadelphia, Chicago, New York, that's got, all kinds of, mass transit and, cab and Lyft and Uber options, you really don't need a car. You don't need it. But women like it. It's a very expensive way of showing status.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what, ladies? So are you. You kind of add to the collection of a man's status. And among high post men, a big chick is a step down from status. Might make for a great lay, though. I mean, guys generally agree that BBWs are a great lay. They're the go-to option.
You say guys generally agree
Yeah,
on that?
guys generally agree on that. As a general proposition, big girls make great lays. As a general rule.
I don't. Nobody told. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I haven't. I don't know where that one comes from.
And people say, well, where does that come from? Well, it's easy. First of all, it comes from the fact that they're more willing to various acts. I'll put it that way. I don't want to get Bernard into trouble. Engage in various acts.
We've already been there. We've already said quite a bit. So there's the view that they're gonna give more effort.
And by the way,
with their head game, the
brother in the chat room, for the brother in the chat room saying is in black. Remember, we're talking about a Black American context here. We're looking outward. Jordan Peterson's a white Canadian. We're looking at this lady. She's not black at all. She's biracial, Japanese and Dutch. But we're bringing all this back to a Black American context. And this is something else a lot of brothers want to have to be honest about. You got a lot of high value brothers that are slumming it. Okay. There are a lot of high value brothers that slum it. There are a lot of high value brothers that are in the hood, knocking boots with Keisha. They just keep it on the quiet. And that is in line with the historical record. High value men around kings, potentates, sultans, high churchmen, dukes, earls, tribal chiefs, they can and will slum it. Because that's the way men are wired. When it comes to no strings attached sex that will be on the quiet, a whole lot of average at best chicks get banged. Why do you think Kevin had such a hard time trying to talk sense into these broads? Because they were getting banged by high post men, and that made them think, because I'm getting this wood from this high post brother, I too must be high post. Because women attach more importance and feelings to sex than men do. For us, it's just like passing gas or eating. For women, it's very important. It makes sense. Women are the ones who have to bear the cost of bearing children. So, of course, they're going to attach more emotional feeling to sex. Of course.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn it. What was I going to say? That's an interesting thing you just brought up there. Something that Kevin Samuels, I guess his male critics don't give him nearly enough credit for that one, where a lot of the women who called in, he pointed out to them something really good. Even when they say, like you said, they will mention that, I deal with, higher earning men all the time. And it's almost, and he said it quite right. Oh, they will have sex with you. He's basically saying, essentially, they will pump and dump you. And the majority of them that called in saying they were looking for, they wanted this, they wanted that. He basically, at almost a 95% rate, it was, no, they don't qualify for it. You don't qualify for it. You basically qualify to be pumped and dumped by these men. That was something that he was putting out there, where a lot of he get criticized, and I've given some criticism where, that whole marriage in 6 months thing. I know you did this. I didn't see your stream on it. I know you. I don't even know where you went with that. I've always disagreed with that. But the people who are anti-relationship, he did more to show the women why they weren't worthy of the relationship. But his male critics, some of them, I'm trying to go and segue into, conversation I had with somebody else. A lot of his male critics, they spoke about it like he pandered to them and tried to give them, try to encourage or sell some false dreams or false hopes to them. But no, he definitely shattered dreams on that one. Like, no, that dreamboat guy that you say you want, you can get sex from him. I believe you that you get sex from him. Yeah, you're not going to get nothing else from him. But real quick, before you hop back in on that, I'll put the link in the chat. Somebody else want to come up and join to the conversation. I do got to step away for a brief moment again, but go ahead. You got it, Obsidian, on that.
Yeah. So, I mean, once again, shout out to the good Dr. Jordan Peterson. I hope he comes back to Twitter and doesn't allow the mob to run him off for simply speaking the truth. I have nothing personal against Yumi Nu. I prefer Amazon chicks with a little meat on the bones, personally. But the simple truth is that white, and we can say, to be fair, black, very famous, very wealthy men like a Dr. Jordan Peterson, like a Michael B. Jordan, they don't do women like Miss Nu. They just don't. Not publicly. Now, on the quiet, yeah, they can get it in. But publicly, no. And nobody can offer evidence to the contrary. Nobody. Nobody can offer evidence that a woman that looks like Miss Nu, who, to be fair, is the same height as Lizzo, but about 100 pounds lighter, to be fair. Nobody can offer evidence that women like them have men like Dr. Jordan Peterson and Michael B. Jordan on their arm. Nobody. Nobody. You can't do it. Jill Scott, Kelly Price, etc. at all. Nobody. And that tells us something. See, I think what happens here with these ladies that are pushing these messages, these activists, I don't think that they understand mating psychology very well. Male mating psychology, female mating psychology. So what they're really, if they're successful, you know what they're really going to be doing? All they're going to be doing is setting up for a lot of big girls to be jump offs. They're not going to be setting up for a lot of for a lot of these women to be wives to guys who actually matter. Because let's be clear here. These type of campaigns, this is going to be harsh for the average at best brothers, but I got to say this. They're not talking about you. They're talking to guys like Peterson and Jordan. And the reason why is because of hypergamy. Women literally have a kind of tunnel vision. They only pay attention to the guys at the top. They don't see everybody else. So when they do these campaigns, really who they're talking to are the topmost men. And they're hoping to change their mind. And what the Michael B. Jordan, Lori Harvey story shows us, and Dr. Jordan Peterson shows and proves to us, is that it doesn't work. Your activism will not work. You know what your activism is going to work on? It's going to work on the guys you don't want. Your activism will work on the guys who you don't want. But for the guys that you want, it won't work. And that's the big lesson that women need to take from this whole situation here. Is that high post brothers are not influenced or swayed by all of these body positivity stuff. They're not. They're not. They want what they want, and they're in a position to get it. Now, it will work for the guys lower ranked. And that's the reason why poorer men tend to be with bigger women. It's been proven. It's a correlation between the bigger a woman's dress size, the less he's likely to make. The less he's likely to have in status. It's generally speaking, that's true. Are there exceptions to the rule? Always. But generally speaking, the bigger a woman's dress size, the lower in status and money and resources her mate will have. This is documented in New York Times.
What do you think about this comment here? And this sort of relates back to something we was talking about earlier. She says, I naturally feel safer with a taller man. Now, the natural, I'm focusing on the word natural, nature in there. That obviously makes sense, because obviously it makes sense that women will be hardwired to feel safer around a bigger, taller man. A taller man, he appears stronger. They're Darwinian. Their need to be protected is more. They feel that need is felt more when they're with a taller, bigger man. So they naturally feel safer around that. So it makes sense. That's part of the reason why women have they're hardwired to have that preference for height. And this is something that I talk about a lot. I talk about things that we are hardwired for versus things that in a modern world, we're living in an unnatural world, essentially. Guns are the ultimate equalizer. Making money and living in a nicer neighborhood are an ultimate equalizer. It's not a full-blown trump card. So speak on that one from the perspective, again, just full disclosure. I'm 6'1", so I don't have a personal dog in that fight, but Obsidian does talk a lot about height, but I do understand it from the woman's perspective when she says, I hate to use that term, a woman's perspective, but I do understand it from a woman's perspective when a woman says that, yeah, she feels safer by, around or when she's with a taller man. That's something natural, that's hardwired. But then there's reality of the current world, climate, and environment that we live in. What's your general thoughts on that?
Yeah,
Being part of the short delegation that you are.
yeah. It's understandable. Women do select. One of the things that women do select on, and here's another way you can use David Buss's book, The Evolution of Desire, straight data to improve your dating game. One of the criteria that women do select men for in terms of mates is size and strength. So let's take it back to Goliath, David and Goliath story. Goliath was a great warrior. I mean, he just wasn't some big oaf. I mean, he had real martial skill. He killed many men. That was the whole point of the story. David was going up against insurmountable odds. And of course, with a bit of divine grace and a well-placed slingshot, he took him down. So what ladies need to remember is that as a general proposition, yes, size matters, but every so often you get a little guy like David that knows how to use some tech. And that's what I say to the short brothers. Let's put it this way. There's more than one reason why I walk with a cane. By the way, I just had my next cane that I'm going to be carrying at the event next month. I just had it made by an Aikido master, by an Aikido sensei. He handcrafted a Boken dragon cane, custom made just for me, out of exotic hardwood. And it's a dragon that wraps around the shaft of the cane, and it's in the shape of a boken. Boken is Japanese for wooden sword. So it's a literal walking stick that is also a literal wooden sword. And I had it specially designed for me by Aikido master.
All right.
It was literally. By the way, there's a very famous story of a famous Japanese swordsman, Musashi, Miyamoto Musashi. He killed a man with a wooden sword. This guy had an actual, steel sword. He killed a man with a wooden sword. Very famous story. You can kill somebody with a wooden sword. Mm-hmm. And I have trained in Aikido, and I do know how to use a boken.
All right. We are joined by a gentleman who's going by the name Men in Training Militia. Are you aware that Kevin Samuels did an event at one point before that was called MIT, Men in Training?
Yes, my brother. That's why I kind of, in the spirit of St. Kevin Samuels, why I have that name. Yes, sir.
Okay. I was just curious if that was just a coincidence. Curious if that was a coincidence. But anyway, welcome to the show. I'll just pass it to you. What do you got on any of the subjects that we've covered thus far? What prompted you to come on up?
Definitely appreciate you, gentlemen and gentlemen, following Obsidian for quite some time, and as you have gone upon your ascension as well, showing a lot of love to that. So at the end of the day, man, especially as Black men, and the reason why I even wanted to kind of get into the YouTube space is because I'm also a personal shopper and image consultant, and seeing that men are speaking up and talking about things, giving me a little bit of confidence to have that type of conversation with Black men as well. So I think we have to understand, I mean, style and image are very important. It's not just about money and things of that nature. We have to understand the importance of presentation. And I just think we when we go and we try to say, well, this person did that and that person, importance of style and presentation is extremely important, especially as Black men.
Yes, definitely. You have a channel? I'm like trying to look you up right now.
I do have a channel. I just started it when COVID started. Is
that the name of it right there?
You got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I was okay. It didn't pop on up, but you more or less just came up to just give your take on style and image and the whole works and everything right there. As far as that is more or less what you wanted to add to the conversation.
Yeah, just wanted to. Yeah, a lot of times we I just think black men, we have a lot of work that we can do to improve that. I think Kevin Samuels and a lot of things that he tried to explain and talk about, and you saw the pushback that he had, and so you know the message lives on, and if anything I could do to kind of maybe answer questions or be of assistance, or give some perspective in the industry that I am in as well, I would love to be of support as well. So just wanted to send love and support as well. That's all.
All right, right on. Thanks for coming on up. Thanks for coming on up. Do appreciate you coming on up. You said you're a personal shopper and an image consultant.
Yes, sir.
And
And I also come from,
interested.
yeah, I've been in
Go
corporate
ahead.
America, so I have a background working for a lot of the Fortune 500 companies as well. So I do have that experience in the sales marketing world as well. Very similar to KS.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think this is wonderful. I think we need more brothers in that line of work. Black men are in desperate need of an upgrade in their image to the world. So I think that's a good thing. Looking forward to
Yeah,
seeing you next month.
yeah, definitely want to support in any way that I can. I think more likely I think you guys are doing something in Texas as well.
Yeah, later this year in Houston. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm definitely scheduling myself to be there in person. But yeah, it's just one of those things where working in, I think I was listening to a stream that Kevin had did. We talked about changing your image a little bit for the corporate world and the pushback that he got with the natural hair and just being able to, what did he say? He said buying in or something like that, buying in.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And I was listening to the pushback, and I was like, being in corporate sales for over a decade and hearing some of the takes that people had, I was like, you could tell that they never worked in any type of work that required them to be public facing. And so I just want to balance out that perspective as well. So
Okay. Did you previously wait tables at Papa Do's?
never waited tables, only worked in sales, corporate sales, and product sales as well. So that's
That
really
was a joke. I was just trying to see how much of Kevin Samuels' Marvel origin story did you have exact.
well,
I'm
I
just
do,
messing with you, man.
I do come from a blue collar background. I will say that my dad is a plumber, and he's you would call him, I guess, a Henry. So definitely come from a blue collar. I do drink Red Bull.
No, I'm messing with you, man. but no, real talk. Thanks for coming up. They put Aaron put your link in the chat room, so y'all can go and check them out. It looked like he just getting started with the content, but hey, we support brothers on the come up. We support brothers on the come up over here. So y'all make sure y'all go check them out. But
San Pellegrino.
I don't know, Christian. I just said KS Bastard. Okay, I'm done. It's too funny. This is too funny. But no, thanks, man. All right, I'm gonna rotate somebody else. I saw Pablo down there. Yeah, appreciate you coming on through. Yeah. Come back. I mean, don't be a stranger. Don't be a stranger. But all right, we're gonna get Stefan, the educated Tyrone in the building. And Pablo, come back. I saw you down there. Make sure you come on back when you get a chance. But we got Stefan, educated Tyrone in the building. Go ahead, brother. What's on your mind?
Oh yeah, how y'all doing? Is my mic clear?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say.
You sound good, brother. You sound good.
Oh yeah, I'll make it quick. I don't want to take up too much time, but when Obsidian was talking about the BBWs being a good layer or whatever, I want to speak to that a little bit just because like my group of friends used to speak on that like when we were in college and stuff. And the half truth to that is, yes, I think a lot of dudes that this speak at like early to mid 20s I'm speaking on right now. A lot of dudes in that range, when they like date down, especially if they're not used to messing with a big chick, they might hit one or two through their social circle or just, a drunk night or whatever. And they might be like, oh, wow, that was pretty good. It was better than I expected it to be. But whenever I've had this conversation among like close friends and we're dealing with guys who have dealt with a range of chicks, and most of these guys, mind you, are either skinny or in shape, ran track or played basketball or football. So most of these guys, they mostly mess with slim or slim thick chicks, and then some slim, thick chicks in shape. I've never heard any of them put BBWs over any of those chicks. And if you want my personal opinion, my literal like scale, I put slim and slim chick slim and slim thick women at the top. And then after that, you can put like super like in shape thick chicks right below that. Now, my thing with that is it depends on their activeness level. If they're physically fit, always in the gym or like, you know, running or doing cycling or yoga or something, and they're always in shape, maybe that thick chick has like real good longevity. But if we're playing the averages, I wouldn't like, you know, hold out hope for that. But anyway, under that, I would put the average skinny chicks. So this is what Obsidian was talking about earlier. Those adjustable sixes that call in the Kevin show, or even like adjustable fives where they could push up to a 6. Those type of women, even those are above BBWs. And the reason I say that is even if you rate their face a 5 or an adjustable 6, so maybe she's a 7 at best, their body is still tolerable. They're still thin. They're still, you know, maybe a little average.
Before you go further,
BBW.
wait, hold on real quick. Time out. Before you go further, explain exactly which part are you responding to, because it sounds like you might be responding to the part where Obsidian said something about big girls being the best lays. Like I really don't know.
Well, he mentioned his main point was about them being good lays, but then he countered it, or he brought up a specific point about when Kevin's arguing with chicks, and the reason he can't get through to them is because these average chicks have had so many dudes date down sexually, you know, or at least mess with them casually. But my thing is, I don't want to conflate an average skinny woman with an average BBW, because an average BBW to me is not a 5. An average BBW to me is like a 3. An average skinny woman to me is a 5 or 6. That's tolerable. So I don't want to conflate the two. So when you see these average skinny women calling into Kevin or Kendra G or those type of shows, their delusion is not to the same extent as a Lizzo, because that's a 3. A 3 dating up to a 7 is different from a 6. They like a guy that's considered a 6 or a 7, he'll take a 6 because to him that's all dating on his level. A guy like me that's a 6, I'm not going to date a 3. You see what I'm saying? That's different.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, and maybe there's more.
That's why Indigenous TV in the chat was getting mad, because he's probably a 4 or 5, and he's probably used to date down and dating 3s. And guys like me who might be a 6, we have a hard line. I'm not dating big chicks, period. You can look at my channel. I have over 400 videos. None of them are big. Out of all of them, maybe one of them is big. And I even admitted to Anton Daniels on stream. I said, bro, when I was in college, out of
you said you have 400 chicks, what? You said you have 400
out of
what?
400 videos. 400 videos. Not all of them are. Some are like debates and stuff. But I'm just saying, overall, my channel has 400 videos. I'd say half of like receipts. Half of them are like date night footage and screenshot, like just all types of receipts. And then the other half is like me debating people. But I'm just saying, none of the chicks on my channel are big. Like the chick in my icon right now, she's like maybe 5'2", 120 or something. This is from years ago. I'm just saying, I talked to a lot of chicks, 5'2", 5'5". They weigh less than me. The most I'll talk to,
people get criticized for that when they show a picture of them with a woman, but it's an old.
No, but these are like
it's an old picture.
No, but these are like girlfriends and stuff from college. Like they're on my public. So this means like she uploaded me on Instagram, like, hey, this is my boyfriend type stuff. This literal college girlfriend, like I dated for months. Like, hey, this is my boyfriend, my girlfriend. We're dating for Valentine's Day. We have the same, circle of friends. But my point is, none of these chicks are big. Literally, you can look. None of these chicks are big. These chicks they ran track. They're dancers, fencers, volleyball players, like soccer players, lacrosse players. None of these chicks are big. So maybe the dudes in the chat that do date down, I'm not judging you. I'm just saying, speak for yourself. Don't use all of us as a scapegoat, because you're actually feeding the fire. Because when they hear a lot of men echo these sentiments, they can come back to me and say, well, Stefan, you're lying. You're not being real, because I hear all these guys saying they date down and they love BBWs. And then you have a guy like me showing you literal proof, no big chicks. So
I'm trying to find. I'm on your channel. I'm on your channel. Hold on, brother. Hold on, real quick.
Oh, my bad. I'll let you go. My bad.
I'm on your channel right now trying to find this proof you speak
You can
of.
go to a playlist. It's a purple Pillin' It Up playlist. It's like the second one from the top.
Okay, playlist. The second one from the top. Okay,
the first
purple.
one is I'm sorry.
Yeah, because like you got some famous woman right there. So this is...
Yeah, the first one is like famous chicks that rejected me, and then the second one is my actual like date night footage and all type of stuff. So it's probably like 99 videos on that. So you could literally go through whichever.
All right, I need to turn this volume down. You're not.
Oh, you can turn it. Yeah, I don't want to get you copyrighted. You can turn the music down.
Oh no, I wasn't planning on sharing it. I'm just looking at Yeah. What application is this? What are you speaking?
My iPhone. If you're
just video chatting on an iPhone.
Oh, you're talking about the one with me in it. That's
It's just
FaceTime.
you in the corner and then a woman.
Yeah, that's me. That's FaceTime.
Oh, okay, that's just FaceTime.
Yeah, Bernard, how big is that chick? She's like 5'5". She's like 5'5".
Bernard, I'll be right back.
Yeah,
but that's my point, Bernard. That's my point. I don't, because even one of them I put in the caption. I'm never choosing Lizzo over her, and that video got like 3,500 views because a lot of people must have agreed with me that she looks better than Lizzo. So again, Indigenous TV, I'm not judging you. It's hey, if you want to date on your level or date down, that's fine. All I'm saying is speak for yourself. Don't, if I date 6s and 7s, other dudes will look at me and say, "Oh, I only date with 8s and 9s." Cool. If you want 8s and 9s, cool. I'm fine with a 6 or 7 that is actually cooperative and has a high IQ and can actually homeschool my children. And, she's not going to just run and divorce me because she comes from a stable family or whatever. But you can keep the 8s and 9s. Indigenous TV, you can keep the 3s and 4s. But every guy, just speak for yourself and stop peddling this propaganda that every guy likes BBWs, because not all of us do.
Yeah, I don't think hold on, wait. I don't think nobody is peddling the propaganda that everybody.
Oh, not Bernard. I'm saying
no. I don't. What I'm saying is I don't hear that even through the people who say it. They don't say that everybody likes it. They just say that they like it. I don't think anybody is peddling that. Now, I do think it is the case that some guys who are relegated to only messing with big girls will try to then trump it up and make it seem, oh, that's because they got the best. They got the best pussy or whatever. They'll throw something else out there.
But that's what I'm saying. They're implying though. They're implying there's a reason, and I'm like, bro, that's a coping mechanism. That's
I do agree with that. I'm looking. I mean, you spoke a lot about receipts. I mean, there is evidence that you FaceTimed a woman before, or 2 or 3. So you got. I see some.
Yeah, I mean, you can look through the video if you want to see me kissing my girlfriend. I mean, if you want to look through that video, you can. I don't know.
All right, yeah, all right. No, I'm good.
I mean, there's also another one where she's kissing me. There's another girlfriend that I dated from another school. So I mean, hey, we have all. I can.
No, we Gucci. We Gucci. I just was checking it out. No, I thought the way that you presented it, I thought it was something. Thought it was something kind of like more along the lines like you had almost like a more categorized dating blog type of thing, and something like that is cool. People in this space don't do that, and that's something that would be interesting if somebody in this space actually did that. But that was cool. But all right, BL in the building. I normally don't do this, but yeah, support the stream. Hit that. What did Angry Man say? Make the Cash App ring or the Super Chat ring during the stream. Appreciate everybody who's supporting it. But he says this is a good conversation. We roughly know what a man loser is in the dating game, but what's considered a woman loser in our community in the dating game?
A divester, Cynthia G.
Yeah.
Cynthia
G. I was saying this is awkward. I see some WTFs. See, I wasn't even paying attention to my own show because I was busy looking at his channel, but I didn't want to pull it up. It was
Freezy hates Russell
I was that
Wilson.
brother. Can you hear me? Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, my bad.
I know that's a serious question. you cut me off. So yeah, something. What the hell? I must have missed something. I must have not even been okay. I must have missed something on my own show. I had the screen off. Like I was looking at his channel. So if something happened, I don't know what happened. But anyway. All right, we about to rotate it out. Go to Pablo. But no, you got anything else? You got anything else on here? They saying you're a weirdo. They saying you're a weirdo.
Oh yeah, JC the Conqueror is another incel. A lot of these guys, I've debated so many pickup artists and dating coaches and incels and manosphere people. I don't
what
even
dating
know
coaches? What dating coaches? Hold on, stop.
I've dated,
what dating coaches?
Oh, I can.
What dating? Stop, brother.
John Anthony lifestyle.
Dude. Let me ask the question. Stop talking. Let me ask the question.
Oh no, I thought that was the question. What dating coaches? I thought you stopped.
Oh no, I didn't know you never. Well, you never paused, so I didn't know if you heard it. So, but okay, cool. All right. So anyway, what dating coaches have you dated? I mean, what dating coaches have you debated? Go.
None of the chicks I talked to are dating coaches, to my knowledge. But I have debated John Anthony Lifestyle, who's that pickup artist that was on Playing with Fire. I debated QB Passport, who I guess you guys can consider a passport bro. He's not SYSBM. He's a literal.
What did you debate John Anthony on? John Anthony.
We debated. Well, he actually doxed Wheat Waffles because Wheat Waffles rated him a 3. And even though I don't agree with Wheat Waffles on everything, I kind of wanted to like defend him and just ask why he kind of had that whole beef. Because I'm like, I don't agree with Wheat Waffles either, but that doesn't give me a right to dox him and give people his, Facebook or Instagram or whatever he gave out. So that was, and then the other thing was body count. We were debating body count because he's a pickup artist. And I was basically contending that any guy that I knew in real life could basically outperform a pickup artist because like pickup artists, they're like it's just a subset of game. It's not really game. It's like a nerdy, weird take on what just regular dudes do every day. So
all right, really quick. Okay. And like somebody just said in the chat, when you come, like, I don't know if you got like a headset or something, like it seems like you're hearing me late. We may have a delay, or
there is a delay. I don't know why.
It wasn't a delay with that interruption. See, it's, you don't your interruption ain't on delay, but you stopping talking when I'm talking is on delay.
No, because it's crisp. Because I'm talking I'm using the same ones
cool.
I used to use for work, so it sounds clear. But sorry.
All right. But all right. It sounds like are you trying to like be like a dating coach or something in this?
Oh no, I'm an anti-dating coach. The point of my channel is literally proving that regular guys can have a normal dating life, and they'd actually be better off just having a regular social circle of friends, as opposed to basing their view of the world and the dating market on based off pickup artists and dating coaches. And
that was dating advice. By the way, that was dating advice. So you basically saying I'm anti-dating coach, but here's my
but like I said, you can get dating advice from normal guys. Most of my friends in real life, they don't even know how to YouTube channel.
You're
no, I'm saying I'm not selling anything. My channel isn't monetized.
If you're giving, of course, every channel has to start off not monetized. But
yeah, but I'm saying I'm not even giving advice. Me showing receipts is not giving advice. I'm just saying you're mischaracterizing me.
I'm not.
But JC the Conqueror and Freezy and all these guys.
Okay, all right, hold on, really quick, bro. You have a bad habit of just talking while the host is talking and trying to steer the conversation somewhere. All right, all I was generally saying is that if you're giving a dating advice while criticizing dating coaches, you're crapping on what somebody else is doing in this market of men who many of them want, need, or could use some dating advice. You're crapping on the people in the space who give that kind of advice and offering a different advice. That's I know market strategy when I hear it, but I'm not going to knock you for it, but it's no need in denying it. But so I don't want to be rude. So I will let you get the last word. I'm going to Pablo. So go ahead. You got the floor. You got the mic. Go ahead. Any last words? Make it short, make it quick, because Pablo been waiting for a minute. So I'll give you 20 seconds for the last word. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say, Obsidian, everything else you said, I agree with. And I wanted to point out there was a half truth in the whole BBW thing. I just wanted to point that out. Everything else you said besides that, though, I agree with. And again, with the dating coach thing, all dating coaches are not bad. So I just want to point that out. Guys like Ron Wills and ARC, they're great. If all of them were like that, I wouldn't even have an issue. So again, the guys I debate, like they're kind of, John Anthony lifestyle, these pickup artists. I don't think they're a good representation of dating coaches, like whether black or just general manosphere, whichever way. But again, thanks for having me though.
All right, yep, no doubt. All right, Pablo. All right, go ahead, Pablo. Thank you. Welcome to the show. Come on in here and save us. Pablo.
What's going on, Bernard and the old man?
Hey,
nice to see you, gentlemen. Hey, this is a little bit off the subject, but I have a young lady who is a budding star, I believe. Her name is Miss Black Unicorn, and I shared a piece of my live
I saw
stream
that.
with you
I
guys
ended
through
up not
email.
watching it. My bad. I should have watched it. But go ahead. Oh shit! Did we lose Pablo? Pablo.
Got Cynthia G. She's the anti-Cynthia G.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Start over. You faded out for a second, so start over on your point that you was making.
So I emailed both you and Obsidian a show that I did with a lady I call Miss Black Unicorn, and she is the anti Rashida Strober and the anti Cynthia G. She's written a book. I'd let her discuss the title and the specifics of it. But if either of you get a chance to go through that email and start at the minute mark that I referenced, I think you would find it a treat. Now, to the brother that just left, here's the fact of the matter. Most American black women or American black women for sure, are overweight or obese. To be more specific, most are even in that area of obese, over 50%. So I made a mistake of doing what he tried to do, which is to say, well, I don't date fat women and this and that. Yeah, but there are a bunch of guys who do, or if they don't, they really won't have much to choose from. So that's the point that you're missing. They told me, well, Pablo, you don't leave anybody else left for us today. I said, well, damn, I guess you're right. So just because you don't date the chubbies doesn't mean there aren't more men who, particularly in Black America, in the Black American subculture, who will. I could play that. I could pull my card on you, and you could show me all those girls on your little YouTube page, and then I could pull out my Dominicans and Colombians, and I could say, I ain't messing with them. They don't meet my standards. I could do that. And the two guys on this show know I could do it. So be careful with that. That's all I got.
Right on. Shout out to C Gully in the building. Shout out to C Gully. Appreciate you. Hopefully I didn't miss nobody else's super chat. Hopefully I didn't miss it. I'm trying to scroll on down. Oh, Jackie Jack sent one. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. And my man Paul Game in the building. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Appreciate everybody supporting the stream. Yeah, it's I'm reading your comments on Stefan the Educated Tyrone. He's been on my show before. It's he sometimes have a slight amount of weird energy while calling other people weird, but but yeah, I don't know what to make of him yet. It's like I can hear it when I know when I'm hearing agenda, and I'm hearing agenda.
Well,
out of there?
What agenda do you hear, Bernard? I'd be very
From Stefan educated. I hear him trying to besmirch besmirch dating coaches.
Yes, why?
Insists that
To what end?
I'm gonna try to land that plane.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Besmirch the dating coaches. Insist that everybody in the chat room is in need of a dating coach, while insisting that the dating coaches are doing it wrong, while trying to give dating advice. It's a trying to, butt his way into the market strategy where a lot of people do that, where they find somebody who has an audience and then they just try to, come on in and then pitch their agenda but it's my thing. And I don't have, okay, I got a problem with, because I got a problem with it to the degree that it turns this space into just one big, into the hater sphere. Where everybody just trying to figure out a way to hate on somebody and then sell their particular hamburger,
Right.
Burger King hamburgers.
And I try not to do that. And you see, I think what Steph is doing is he's trying to carve out a niche for himself as whatever he wants to call himself. I think you're right. The very act of giving out dating advice means that you're just this shy of being a dating coach. So whatever he wants to call himself, I agree with your assessment, Bernard. Derogation of competitors is real. And instead, I would just invite him to just merely put out his product. Whatever that is.
That's where I was going to go. And I thought that's what he was doing. That's why when he was talking, y'all probably saw me looking like this, because I was really looking at his channel. And he did have some videos where it looked like he was FaceTiming with a couple of women. And
Right.
and he said that he had over 200 women on his channel. I ain't see that.
Right.
But I'm like, if he's out there in the game and in the field dating and he could show live, that's something that nobody does. So I was kind of rooting for him. That like, hold on. Let me check out his channel. I was like, if you got live out on dates with women, make it like a little dating blog and then mix that with your dating advice. I was like, okay, something like that can work. So if he just go ahead and go that route with it and do it and put out a good product.
Yep.
And then I could see a actual tangible product. Then it's like, okay, come on. I'll do a one-on-one interview and we could talk about it.
Yep.
Like that. That's how you do it. Like, but I don't. But just coming in channel, don't even got your channel off the ground or your product even developed and talking shit about other people who's established in it. I'm like, come on, man. That's what I don't like. I don't like that, but I do.
And I think we need more competition. Competition is good for business. Pablo understands what I'm talking about. You, as a businessman, understand what I'm talking about. We need more competition. We need more brothers being the best versions of themselves. I don't care how you get there. See, Boogie, if that works for you, his self-improvement summit, if that modality works for you, run with it. Alan Roger Curry's Mode 1, which I incorporate within my own style. Mode 1 is like the default setting. Kind of getting geeky here. Among the Jedi, there are 7 lightsaber forms of combat that are officially approved by the High Jedi Council. The first form is known as Shicho. Well, guess what? In the Black Manosphere, the first form of game is Mode 1. It's the easiest. It's the most effective. It's the most effective for the easiest type of style to learn. Every man should know it. Every man should be competent in Mode 1. In my opinion, every black man in the Black Manosphere should be competent in Mode 1. It should be just a given, a default setting. Every man. Mode 1. Every man is Mode 1. And then whatever else you want to add on top of it, great. But just as a base, Mode 1. That was the whole point of me bringing Alan Roger Curry to the Black Manosphere. So that seed would seep into the soil of the Black Manosphere. So, but if that style, if you want to go deep into Mode 1, I'm just talking about as a basic type of thing. But there's levels to Mode 1, as we all know. Yeah. So if you want to be a Shicho specialist like Kit Fisto, go for it. If you want to be a Mode 1 specialist, you go really deep into the Mode 1 system, go for it. Run with it. If Donovan Sharp's system with womanese and all that, that's your style, run with it. If Mr. Lucario style, the way he does things works for you, run with it. If Steve the Dean, if what he's doing and that works for you, run with it. If alpha male strategies, these hoes to sleep, if that works for you, run with it. Whatever style works for you, go with it. I say let 1,000 flowers bloom. That's a good thing. We need more of that. We need more brothers coming into the field and offering options for brothers who want to be the best version of themselves. We need more of it, not less.
Right.
I agree with that.
Yep.
No doubt.
Yeah, agreed. And that's why I push back. Like I always say, this is a no hate zone over here. I like, I can't stand when everybody just got a dirty Mac for what everything everybody else is doing. I don't even know why you laugh with that when you said Ramil style pump and dump. That's a modern dating mating strategy for men in this modern world. I'm hey, ain't nothing wrong with what Ramil is talking about right there, as far as I'm concerned. So that's it's something for everybody. It's something for everybody. But men in training in the building, do appreciate you. The men in training militia, Kevin Samuels. Never mind. Okay, that was a funny clip of the show. I think I'm gonna have to clip that part. That was funny. But anyway, all right. Yes, RM, we don't hate, we appreciate over here. But all right, we at the 3-hour mark, and that's gonna pretty much make the show. We're gonna go ahead and wrap things on up. I appreciate everybody who supported the stream in any way, shape, and form. Oh man, this was just too damn funny, man. If he told me he waited tables at Papa Do's, man, I would have died.
Oh yeah,
I would have. Y'all, the show would have been over. I'd be still on the floor with.
But you know something?
Busted up ribs.
MIT militia. Did you actually attend? You might have said this before, but I'm just because I didn't hear it. I'm just being certain about this. Did you attend one of Kevin's MIT events, the one in Atlanta or the one in Dallas? I'm just curious because if indeed you did, I'm very pleased to see Kevin's legacy living on. I've said this to you before, Bernard. We don't need another Kevin Samuels. We need 1,000 Kevin Samuels. That's what we need. We don't need another one. We need 1,000 of them. And it can come in many forms. And this brother right here, MIT militia, that's one form. Everybody sees me as kind of carrying on Kevin's legacy. It's my own form. Take what Kevin did and make it your own. You don't have to do exactly what he did. You don't have to do all of what he did. Just take a little piece of it and make it your own. That's how we keep Kevin alive.
Yeah. Yep, definitely. But we're gonna wrap it up right there. Thank you to everybody in the building. Like I said, appreciate each and every one of y'all. And with that said, we are out of here. Peace.